ribs hurt.
Why are your ribs hurt?
Because I'm old, man. Like sitting in certain ways, like I don't know, it just hurts like right here.
Dude.
Like right here.
You gotta
on
fix.
the left side.
You gotta fix that then.
Dude, my hands right
I
now.
need to lose weight. That's what I need to do. I haven't fucking been in the gym, and when I did go to the gym, the only thing I've done is chest.
Why?
What else is there to do? You just
like,
do chest.
Because my lady likes to lay on my chest, so I like to have nice man tits. You know?
I
I like
mean,
to lay on your cock.
I mean,
better,
fair,
Uh,
but I mean, also fair, but you know.
Well, it's like it's just like all those memes that you see when the dudes are like, it's leg day, and then like they fall, and then they end up on the bench press It's like, oh, I guess it's chest day.
All right, you're correct, but that being said, you still
dude, yeah.
you still
Bricky, you look like you
goofy.
got your ass pushed. The other when
I
you're up in
know I'm
Oregon.
goofy. That's my whole persona. If I was a Disney character, I would legitimately be goofy. Like I'm pretty sure in my near future. What would you do?
No, I don't think I did anything. You're talking about chest day and leg day and all this shit. I'm figuring out to make sure everything is going proper, and I think we're going proper. I think things are good.
It looks like it's going proper. Chat saying stuff. But
I'm seeing. Yeah. Okay. Continue.
All right. A Goofy movie. I'm pretty sure that is going to be my life at some point soon. Like you never seen a Goofy movie?
You mean like Disneyland?
No, Goofy. There's legit
like
an
Goofy?
animated movie. Yeah, called the Goofy movie.
Dude, do I watch this stuff? You know I don't watch this stuff.
You were a kid at one point. I don't know
no,
what
I wasn't.
I
came out of the fucking womb and played Mass Effect.
Oh my god. Anyways, so in a Goofy movie, the premise of the story is that Goofy is going to take his teenage son out on a fishing trip like they always did, but his teenage son is no longer interested in that bullshit, right? He wants to go to some crazy ass concert because the girl that he likes is going to be there and a whole bunch of his friends and all that bullshit. So, and then it turns into Goofy being Goofy, right? Like fucking everything going wrong. He's super embarrassing. Like, yeah, a Goofy movie. Dude, you gotta watch it. It's honestly good. It's good.
All right. I believe
watch it with your dad. Watch it with your dad.
Why my dad?
Because it's
actually, I think your dad would love that movie.
Yeah,
no joke.
It's a good movie.
Wait, you know exactly what he's talking about this whole time?
Yeah, dude, it's like my era movie.
Oh my god. Okay. We haven't even introduced ourselves for the stream yet or anything.
It's a Goofy movie.
we gotta actually get into it. Hello, stream and everyone. Welcome to a Dice Check recap stream. We are actually doing it on 2 streams at once right now because Twitch has allowed restreaming, so you can see us both live on YouTube as well as live on Twitch. Speaking of, Clean Yourself 13, thank you for subbing with a tier 1 sub on Twitch as well. It's great stuff. We did the recent tournament recap video with myself, Garrett, and Atesh, and now they have been to another tournament. Not me. I still haven't.
Technically, you were there.
Yeah. Oh my god, I remember that.
Yeah, I got a story for that.
Oh,
we'll get to it. You'll hear about it. I texted you about it when we got there, but I'll tell Chad about it. I'll tell Chad about it.
That's right. I totally forgot about that. But yes, so we are doing another one of those tournament recap streams, chatting and not usual kind of stuff. If you would like to, support the stream and support all the videos and stuff we do, you are more than welcome to sign up for the memberships on YouTube, subs on Discord, no, not Discord, on Twitch, or any and all super chats, donos, etc. We are all very much appreciated. All right. With that being said, so where'd you guys go?
We went to the Cali Cup hosted by XPZ. This was the very first Cali Cup, and it was a good time. I got dragged into it per se because Kenny Boucher from Next Level Paint. Kenny Boucher, my dog. Next
Yo,
Level Painting
dog. Yo, dog.
Yo, dog. So Kenny was coming out from Florida since he's a Florida man now, and he was shoutcasting for the Cali Cup. So then I was like, oh, you know what? This would be probably a good time to go to a tournament since the last tournament I went to was LVO. So,
God, that in a sense that was 10
Yeah.
months ago.
yeah, it was a long time ago.
LVO?
It's in January. Yeah.
LVO was my
Right?
last tournament.
Yeah.
So
Holy
this
shit.
was my first 10th edition tournament, and
Yeah.
and we got another one next week. I'm excited about that too.
Ew.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually really, really want to give a shout out to XBZ for hosting an amazing tournament. What
Mhm.
they put out there was exactly what I've always wanted in a tournament. It was chilled. Everybody knew everybody. There was top players there. The community was absolutely amazing, and there's like that's exactly what I look for in the game. Like, ended up meeting the guy who I played K-Suns with at SoCal. Ended up hanging out with him. Brandon, shout out to you. It was super fun. Got to meet everybody around, and I'm super stoked to go next year. Let's just say that.
Oh yeah, I actually signed up for the Cali Cup and then wasn't able to make it as I was out of state because I also forgot that I signed up for it, and I got the email. It's like, Cali Cup is this next weekend. It's like, oh crap. So I was I signed up, was supposed to go, didn't go. Screwed that one up myself. But we mentioned XPZ a bit in the last one with Atesh. But for those who are new or watching and don't know who they are, Xenos Petting Zoo, XPZ, are a local San Diego mostly, but also between LA and San Diego based group of Warhammer players. They contain a lot of people who often win events, but they're a pretty large group. It's goes from I don't know if I would call any of them like just nothing but casual, but it's like semi-casual and up for the most part.
Yeah, that's the best way to describe it. Yeah.
No.
And for those of you who don't know Californian geography, LA to San Diego is like most of the coastal SoCal region. You go any farther south, it's Mexico. You go any farther north, it's the valley, and there's nothing there. It's Fresno.
Go over the mountain range, and there's nothing.
Yeah, you go any west, and you get to like
Nothing.
You get nothing.
You get meth.
Barstow. You get Palm Springs. Yeah, you get the Inland Empire.
If you go east, and then if you go
yeah.
north of LA, you go to my favorite place, Palmdale.
We don't need to go there.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about that right there.
Hey man, there's some cool shit out there that but that's it. It's just some cool airplanes flying around.
Yeah, can you tell us about those airplanes on Hot Mic?
No,
why not?
They go
because I can't. You trying to get me to spill government secrets.
Hey, War Thunder's done it plenty of times.
I'm not gonna do it because that's my primary source of income right now. So.
All right, so information for the tournament. First things first, as we all know, 2,000 points, classic, usual.
Yeah.
There is was it static or player placed terrain?
Player placed.
Player placed.
So actually, super interesting about it is that it was player place with static.
Yeah, there was one static piece in the middle at all times.
Yeah, so
like a big like literally in the middle, or
yeah, so it was always in the middle, and it was always 5.5 inches apart because it was technically two pieces, right? So each connecting side was 5.5 inches apart, but it was always static. And in the player pack, they always showed you where to place it, depending upon what table you went on.
So when you say in the center, you're not referring to like a big piece literally at the 30 inches, 22 inches mark. You just mean a piece in the middle separating.
Yeah. So it's that we count it as a piece because like it's always there, but it's actually two different pieces. That make one piece. You know what I'm saying?
So
like two L's. It's two L's,
right?
5.5 inches apart.
So that really stops like first placement.
Yes,
strength.
Yeah.
It's definitely my favorite way of playing. Period.
Okay.
I think the best thing about it is it gives you cover, but there's also a big firing lane down the center as well, diagonally.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody can't just place a crater in the center, and you're just like, well, I'm a melee army, I can't do anything. So if they everybody switched to that, I would be happy. That is by far my favorite. I'll try to pull up a picture real quick so you can like physically see it.
For those of you who have not played much player place terrain, one of the most important things often is if you get first placement, which means you can put a big chunky piece right up in the front in a specific way that either gives you an incredibly large amount of cover, or, and more particularly, allows you to prepare yourself if you're like a melee army and pop out and murder everybody. And so often, also, you can't put terrain within 6 inches of the opponents. So very often it's like a big chunky piece, put it in the center, and then you basically create a no zone where your opponent can't put stuff.
I have a
it's
hot
rough.
take
Let's
on
hear
player
it.
place terrain. So I loved it during ninth. Ninth, it was great. I loved ninth's terrain rules and stuff, but because shooting is so powerful in 10th, they've made it to where first floor is always like line of sight blocking, period. Right? It's windowless, doorless, all that crap. The problem I have with that is that now we're seeing with player place terrain, people taking, and I mean it's a strat, it is what it is, but it's pretty significant. Especially if you're running rhinos, which a lot of chaos players are running rhinos,
Yeah, they are.
especially myself. But they'll take that player place terrain, put it right on the deployment line, shove the rhino in there. The rhino will never probably move. It'll just probably end up staying in there the whole game. It's just literally to springboard the guys out and
Right.
either onto an objective or charge and whatnot. I mean, it's smart, it's tactical. It just sucks when you're playing an army and you have no indirect fire to like deal with the rhino to try to pop it before those guys can even get out. But essentially, you're still not going to stop what's going to happen, even if you manage to pop the rhino.
Yeah, but basically it creates a giant zone where the moment you move up, they jump out and they murder you.
Yes.
And unless you have like a Land Raider Redeemer you're going to Overwatch with, which you probably don't, you know. Okay, so Garrett, I see that down there. So it always was placed like that in some form of rotation.
Yeah, so it's in a form of rotation, and essentially it sits in the center. And so you could see that you have a line of fire that comes through because it has to be like 5.5 inches open, so anything can go inside of it. And then it's obscuring on both sides. So it's, in my opinion, I absolutely loved it. Yeah, if we could play it that way, I would be happy. I think like what kind of like static do you like, Dameki? Like I think GW's is like even worse with like terrain.
So I haven't played static
Yeah,
since, well, besides what we do at Dice Check. Like most of
yeah.
our
I mean
stuff's
that's
static.
kind
Like
of
we haven't done player place terrain in a minute. But like just I think there needs to be at least a rule change or something when it comes to vehicles and terrain. Because
How
like
so?
well, you could fit literally a whole rhino into the bottom floor and like it's non-targetable. That's why I'm getting at.
Well, if anything, imagine like windows being like the moment you're in the terrain, you can just shoot the thing inside the terrain, but that's a
Yeah, but that
window
comes
not
back
counting as a
to
thing.
the window thing, because like it's not a 10th edition rule. It's a tournament rule.
Yeah.
Like the 10th edition rule doesn't say first floor is like, no windows, no doors.
Yeah.
It's literally just a tournament thing right now.
I
And
know.
like, it was kind of to help, like I get it, it's to help melee armies survive a shooting phase, right?
Yeah.
It gives you more power as a melee army to get further up the board. And I get that. But I feel like it's kind of being taken advantage of when it comes to vehicles and stuff like that. Mainly just the rhinos, right? It's literally only the rhinos.
And also, rhinos right now are just really prevalent as a strength point. So
yeah,
it may be more of a rhino problem than it's a terrain problem. Because right now, yeah, like CSM with 10 chosen in a rhino is so.
I have
stories.
I will tell you stories. So spoiler is that once you start getting to higher end play, rhinos, you need to be able to pop those like in one turn.
Yep.
Like it just needs to be a thing in your list.
Though I mean, I actually think it was an XPZ guy who said this, and I think I may have repeated it in the last one. But the worst player place terrain will always be better than the worst static.
Yeah, that's 100% true.
So
like I don't have a problem. So let me change this. I don't have a problem with player place terrain. I guess I have a problem with first floor, windowless, doorless. So first floor, all line of sight blocking.
I think
Yeah.
GW, that's a GW thing because all of GW tournaments are exactly like that. Everything's
Dice
blocking, I believe.
Hammer. Dice Hammer does a thing where you pick one terrain piece on your side that is no windows, no doors. You just like turn them off. You close the shutters on all of them, and I kind of like that because I think there should be a in cover shoot in shoot out thing, but it just depends on where.
You know
Yeah,
what, too?
and I mean it's only been 10th edition because 9th edition it was not like this.
So jumping back to like what you're saying about like the two armies that are the problem with the Rhinos are CSM and World Leaders because they literally have a threat range of 28 inches, and that's why it's so strong. And I think once you knock those two armies down, because I play Black Templars, and I could tell you, you got like 12 inches. It's very small. I don't know what to do with it sometimes. So it's like trying to move up the field and like jump through stuff. I need it. So like CSM is just like I can reach you turn one, or World Leaders is like I can reach you turn one. So like they don't need it, but some other melee armies I think they need it.
In fairness, I think your Rhino is like Grimaldus. Just giving your entire group of 5 up feel no pain and being like, who needs a Rhino?
So I will talk more about my list once we get to the end and revisions to my list, and it's literally transportation.
Yeah.
That's what the changes are.
Well, in that case, let's go through the list. We'll go
Hold
with
on,
Dameki's.
I got a story to tell before we get in because I got to talk about what happened when I got into the tournament.
Right. All right. Do your thing.
All right. So the day of, I show up, have to check in at the front desk. They want to see IDs if you're going to drink and whatnot. And as I'm standing there, you know, I'm letting the people who came in first do their thing. And Jason, the head judge, he was like, you owe me a list. I was like, what the fuck? I owe you a list? How? Like, I'll win BCP app. And I was like, no, I'm checked in. There's a list. He's like, you're Bricky, right? And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, wait, a bearded white man? We all look the same? I'm Bricky now?
There's 40 Brickies at the tournament alone in that case.
Yeah, like what the fuck?
Okay.
So,
wait, I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off, Dameki, but
No, go
we just
ahead.
received a prime sub from Sanguinius's Fat Balls.
Ooh.
And I had to read that. I had to read that out loud. But
Dude,
That's
he's bringing his ball predators to the table. You know what I mean?
yeah. Oh, that's such a missed opportunity. You should spell it BAALS. Sanguinius's Fat Ball. You fucked it. But that is hilarious because no wonder I owed him a list because I signed up and didn't go.
Yeah. I should have submitted my list twice.
Yeah.
That way if I did like if I did like even poorer, then I could have just like jumped over to your name and be like, yeah, I'm Bricky. Like, yeah, I could have I could have just like tanked. Like you would have been like the worst Death Guard player because like you showed up to the event and then immediately dropped.
Oh no, better yet, you look at the matchups between me and yourself and you pick which one you want to fight. Anyway, army lists. We'll go with Dameki first because his is much simpler and just in general terms of quantity. Garrett, do you have the? Let's go,
boy.
Let's
Look at that.
go. All right, what's up?
All right, so I've got Morty as my warlord, of course. I have 2 foul blight spawns. I have a malignant plague caster, well, 2 of them, one with the living plague, which extends my disgusting aura or my contagion aura. 30 plague marines with the exact same loadout, you know, 2 heavy melee weapons, 2 meltas, not multi-meltas, excuse me. 3 with just plague knives and plague bolters. The sergeant had a heavy along with a plasma gun. And then what else? The blight launchers. I think that's it. Then
The works.
the works. And then the 2 rhinos fully kitted out, the works. The folded bloat drone, I have 1 with the flesh mower and then 2 with the gun. Yeah. And then 2 plague burst crawlers with entropy cannons and the heavy slugger, and then 1 plague burst crawler with the plague spitters and the heavy slugger.
Okay, sorry. So the lawnmower, you need to get a custom Nurgling sitting on top of it, like it's like a dad on a Sunday drinking a beer, riding a lawnmower with like a trucker's hat on.
Yeah,
I feel like that needs to happen.
You mean the boomer and the lawnmower and the guy
Yeah,
trying
exactly.
to sleep meme? Yeah. So it basically is triple PBC, Mortarian, double Plague Marine, and a bunch of drones. Or double Plague Marine, Rhino, Rush, and a bunch of drones.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
All right. It's pretty good.
I like it.
Garrett, what you got? You brought your BTs?
All right, guys, here we go. All right, so as we know, for like last tournament, I brought 3 Redemptors, Repulsor Executioner, Sword Brethren, Primaris Crusaders, Jump Pack, and the characters. Well, I said my Repulsor Executioner misses every fucking shot, so I was like, and dropped. And I actually wanted to make a fun list, so like one day I was like, you know what? What's my favorite unit? Sword Brethren. Let's add another unit of that. So I dropped a Redemptor, I dropped the Executioner, and I picked up a 10-man Sword Brethren unit with a Judicaire.
That's the same cost for Redemptor. Oh, and you got Scouts. Never mind.
And I got Scouts, and then I got an Infiltrator squad, and then I got a Lieutenant with a combi weapon, the little annoying guy that infiltrates and like moves around whenever you get close to him and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I actually have a lot of scoring potential, and so I made a few like adjustments because that was like the biggest problem with my last list is that scoring actions was not crazy. Plus, Scouts are the most insane unit in the game. Period. Like they're so insane,
They're
bro.
so
The
good.
guys, I cannot tell you how crazy they are. So, essentially, we start off the basics. I threw Hellbrecht with the Lieutenant, with the Bones, giving the 5-up, feel no pain to the Sword Brethren. They have lethal hits, fall back and charge. They just point and they say, you know what, you're dead. So followed up by Grimaldus the 20-man, pretty basic Black Templar stuff. And then I took a Judicator with another 10-man squad. And then I took 2 Redemptors, and then a Scout squad, Infiltrator squad, and a Lieutenant with a combi weapon.
I'm assuming Grimmy D is following with the Crusader squad.
Yep, he is leading the 20-man, which is very hard to deal with.
So does the Judiciaire solo with the Sword Brethren squad?
So the tech with him is that I used him for fights first on that unit.
Right.
So he gives him fights first, and he is a character killer. He has dev wounds with precision, and he was actually, when I played him through the tournament, I was like, holy cow, he just kills characters. Like Cultist squad rolls up and you're dead character. He rolls up to like an Eldar unit and you're dead, like character's dead, or like anything major, like just kills the character outright. Because with dev wounds, because it goes to 3 damage with Sword Brethren, 3 damage dev wounds, -2, 7 strength. It just pops, man. It like just is such a nasty character killer. And then essentially the whole goal was use that unit to actually screen my big unit to kind of lead them up the board, and then the Redemptors you kind of to get around. And then I just have Scout Squads, Infiltrators to start off the field or hold home objective. The Lieutenant is actually an insane unit as well for 70 points. Goes up the board, scores you 40 points a game. And that's essentially my list.
So Waha PD is finally updated for 10th edition. Thank you.
Yes.
Love it. So the Relic Blade is 7 attacks, AP2, 2 damage, dev wounds and precision, but you get +1 damage because you're Sword Brethren.
Yep.
Gives the model fights first, and every time you destroy an enemy character model, you get 1 to the attacks.
+1, yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah, I mean,
but then you're also, wow, that is really good. 3 damage character killing is pretty good.
So here's the thing too, right? Even if you want to kill a character, is in like a 1-man thing, you're just like, okay, have 1 more attack.
Yeah, that's a good
And
point.
it's just like it's Loki. So funny story is I had the hardest time deciding who I wanted to run that unit. I was like, do I want to give him a chaplain for the +1 to wound? Do I want to give him another lieutenant for lethal hits for more lethality with fallback and charge, or do I want fights first with a good character killer? I asked everybody on the Sun, and they were like, they're all 3 really good options. I'm like, that's cool, I know. I need to know which one. And I was just like, yo, Stephen Bucks, I know you've been playing Black Templars lately. Which one should I run? He's like, yo, take the Judicare. And I was like, sick, thanks.
Um, I'm curious, which vow did you run? I know you could choose
So
different ones, but was it mostly
so
Suffer Not the Unclean, or?
yeah, it's uphold the honor of the Emperor is the 6 of Feel No Pain with the 5 leadership, which is insane.
Okay.
You throw what's up?
Did you put Perdition's Edge on the Judiciary?
So I didn't. I was going to, but I didn't have the points.
Okay.
Otherwise, I would have.
I was looking at this and I was like,
yeah, right,
8
right.
AP 3 flat 3
Yeah.
damage.
So the actual breakpoint I wanted to do was give it 8 strength. Like 3 AP is still good, but I have a strat to give him +1 AP if I really needed it, so it can make it 4 AP.
Right.
But I just wanted yeah. He just
So you did
for 70 points.
Right, and Uphold the Honor of the Emperor gives you the 3-up fight on death strat.
Yep. He gets a 3-up fight on death, which is like insane.
That's insane.
Yeah, dude, it's so nasty. Like this list is so much fun unless you play something that has lots of shooting in the far back line.
Hey,
that's me.
Well,
yeah.
hey,
this guy up here, look at it.
Speaking of Dameki, now that let's get into it then. Let's get into game one. What, Garrett? Do you have the mission and shit?
I posted it in.
Yeah, I got it. It's in the Discord chat. I got it up right now.
Oh shit!
So round 1, Crucible of Battle, take and hold, secret intel.
This was actually really good to start off the tournament. To be honest,
Yeah,
I think this is always a solid one.
It was a good way to kick off the tournament. I was rusty AF because like I don't even know the last time I played a game, and then like I've only played New Death Guard once on stream. So this list too, it was not like I built this specifically for Cali Cup. I built this list just purely for dice check, and then I was like, oh, you know what? I'll try it out at Cali Cup because I was like, it's pretty competitive, and it was closer to what I was running in 9th. So I was like, it still should do pretty well. So round 1 for me, I got thrown into the fire immediately, and I had to fight the captain of the Scotland team known as Ennis Wilson.
Ooh,
yeah,
third place.
And he was playing Chaos Space Marines.
Let's go. All right. They're a really good army right now.
Yeah. So with New Death Guard, if nobody's familiar, we have 3 new contagions that we can take now. We have access to -1 to your save or worsen your save by 1. And then we have worsen your ballistic and weapon skill by 1. So which means that since it says worsen, then I can stack an additional -1 to hit on top of that. So you go -2 instead of -1. And then finally, I have a -1 to your OC. They're all really good. They're all really good for different situations, different armies you might run into as a Death Guard player. You know that you're going to be tankier than like some of the weapon loadouts on certain armies. Like if I was playing against Necrons, I would probably just take -1 OC. So stuff like that. For this matchup though with CSM, I did take -1 to the save. Just because all of them have like some type of Termi brick in there, and I don't know if it's going to be as important. Or I know it's going to be important to have the -1 so I could put them on their invols. The other thing was the Chosen. The faster I could kill the Chosen, the better.
What was this list like? Like big brick of Termies, bricks of Chosen with rhinos, that kind of thing?
So I think it was 2 rhinos. He had Nurglings, so that was like the tech too. Everybody has Nurglings. Nurglings is the best unit in the game.
Really
My list is going to change and have Nurglings. So yeah, I think he had 3
I have
Nurglings,
PTSD
though.
from Nurglings.
Nurglings are very good.
Yeah, Nurglings are
-1 in melee.
They're genuinely like just one of the most insane little scoring
35 points.
Yeah.
So surprisingly enough, that match, I took tactical throughout the whole tournament. One thing I did pick out on throughout the tournament was everyone who was doing really well, especially on the top tables. Most were taking fixed, um, which was kind of neat to see. But for this match, it was the Forge Fiends, two Forge Fiends. I would say probably about he did have two 5-man units of the Jumpy Boys.
Raptors.
Yeah, the Raptors.
Or do they have the claws?
I think he had the claws.
Warp
the Warp
Talons.
Talons.
Yeah.
He had two of those, and I know he had the Chosen. He had cultists. Like every Chaos player has, just a 10-man brick of cultists.
20 cultists.
I mean,
Yeah.
10 cultists are 50 points, and they give you sticky objective. They're great.
Yep, that's exactly why.
They're insane.
So even if I did shoot him off the board, like it didn't matter. Let's see what else. He had I'm pretty sure he had the Terminator brick. I could pull up his list, but
just the general the general idea.
So I thought, like, because I had never met the guy, and I was like, oh shit, because he's wearing a kilt and stuff. I was like, oh shit, this dude's the real deal, like accent, everything. I was like, oh shit, man. And then come to find out, so I ended up losing 76 to 86, and I was like, oh shit, I did pretty fucking well for not playing for a minute. And then that's when I found out, oh, by the way, that's the team captain for Scotland. And I was like, oh, okay, well, now I feel better about myself because like I only lost by 10. But I mean, it was a very I don't want to say frustrating is not the word. It was very nerve-wracking just because I haven't played in so long. So like I had the shakes and all that, and like I had to like essentially knock the cobwebs off and the dust. The one thing that was common throughout all my games, huge disappointment factor in my list, Mortarion. Mortarion sucks so much ass right now. It's so bad, and I will get more into it on the third game. But he couldn't kill anything the whole weekend. Like he struggled bad. So essentially what was going on was because if you're not familiar with Mortarion, he has a 6-inch aura that says ignore any and all modifiers to any unit within 6 inches. So that's great for the PBCs because then I can indirect fire you all day and I'm hitting on 3s, and I can spend 1 CP to turn my guns heavy if it didn't move, and now I'm hitting you on 2s with lethal. So that was nice. But that's all he really did for me throughout the weekend. Nothing else really came into play. Like his, gives something cover. And I forgot about the other two off the top of my head, just because like he was just so insignificant.
The reroll wants to wound is the big one you always use. Right?
So that's the one that I was probably just always using. Like there was no point to use cover or the other one. It was always reroll wound rolls of 1. So, and like, honest to God, nobody ever really killed him off the board, like, except for like one match. And I remember which match that was. So yeah, in his first game, I didn't get overly stomped by CSM, which was nice. And I made it a tight game up until the last round. Like we played all 5 rounds, and I didn't manage to shoot him off the board, and he didn't manage to shoot me off the board. So that was kind of nice.
A little surprised those Forge Fiends didn't just eat Mortarion up.
Yeah.
He knew what to do. He knew to shoot the plague bursts. Like he was very aware of like shoot the plague bursts or shoot the photo blow drones with the launcher, because the flesh mower, I mean the flesh mower is good, but like the those guns are, so here's the thing. The photo blow drone with the gun, 6 shots, 8 strength, -2, 2 damage each.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. So
that's actually very good. Is it blast or?
No, it's straight 6 shots.
So you can fire it in combat.
Yes.
Would you take it over the flesh mower?
I personally enjoyed it more than the flesh mower over the weekend because the
Okay.
flesh mower you have to put it into situations where it will win or it will
Right.
trade, and
It's
that
mostly
can get
against like,
tricky.
well, the flesh
I
mower is meant to like kill like chaff.
Yeah,
that's
it's meant to.
yeah.
Well,
So
it could kill Space Marines because it's 7-1, 2 damage each.
Oh, it's 2
So
damage.
yeah,
yeah.
Oh, I
it's
got it
2 damage
backwards. I thought it was
each.
7-2-1. Oh,
So
Nah.
the Death Star
7. So it's 10 attacks, 7 strength, -1, 2 damage.
with
Yeah.
the
Or it
minus
might be
save.
7-2-1. Let me double check.
Well, with the
You might be
minus
right.
save, that'd be pretty nasty because then that minus
Yeah.
1 actually adds a bit more. And
yeah,
if
you
more-
can make the AP way high too. I think. As
Yeah,
well.
7-1, 2. I knew. I
yeah,
was
you
right.
have
I
the
knew I was right.
you have the strat to increase AP, and you could also have Mortarion
Yeah.
turn off Armor of Contempt and stuff.
That
Yeah.
is true. Yeah, very much
So
So
I saw the my Death Guard player I played. He used them for 3 purposes, like we were saying: killing chaff, scoring, and then just gunking stuff up. Because it's like 10 wounds. It's not easy to die.
Yep.
It could just stop things in its track, or it could just move 12 inches, right? 12 or 10.
It,
Or
it
is it
moves
14?
10. It moves 10.
Yeah. So then you
So-
just have a thing to get up and do like behind enemy lines.
That was the whole reason why I took the flesh mower as well. I took the flesh mower to be a threat to the chaff
Yeah.
and to score me objectives. Like if I
Mhm.
got engaged on all fronts, I have a way to get it engaged on all fronts. And it was the same reason why I brought the guns too, so that I can maneuver them around. They can shoot because the gun's 36 inches. So it's 36 inches, 6 shots, and all that. Like that was the whole reason why I brought 3 of the photo blow drones. Because I knew, when you're playing tactical, you're gonna probably draw engaged on all fronts and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And then one thing that I constantly did, and I did in Innes's match, was that 2 of the 10-man units, especially like the Malignant Playcaster and the Foul Blight Spawn, go in the Rhinos. So then the Rhinos become another chaff threat because I have 2 Flamers just running around the board because it has firing deck 2. So the Foul Blight Spawn's Flamers in there along with the Malignant Playcaster's psychic ability. And then the Malignant Playcaster, if I, hit and wound, then you're -2 movement and -2 to the charge
Mhm.
with that psychic ability. And then I would constantly just reserve the other 10-man unit so that, again, tactical mission, whatever I draw, I can bring them out between 2 and 3 and score points. So that was the idea of the list when I made it, because I was trying to make an all-encompassing list so that I can play tactical.
Mhm.
Real quick, I want to thank Ascendant on Twitch for a 7-month resub. Appreciate it very, very much.
Hell yeah, dude.
So it sounds like a good start to the game.
Yeah.
Not too bad of a loss, but pretty close. Garrett, what do you got?
Yeah. So also too, Dameki, that is, in my opinion, super impressive. The dude went 3rd in the tournament, and you pulled it that close, dude.
Oh, he
Even
went
coming
on
off
3rd.
He was 3rd place.
I missed
Yeah,
that
that guy was
part.
3rd place.
Congrats, dude.
Coming off of where you came and doing that is fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah.
He's on my team. I stream with him. He's cool. So hey, guess what I played? CSM. Let's go.
Yeah,
What
let's
is that?
go. What was the
So,
was the list similar?
No. So this dude brought the Abaddon with the 10 Terminators. He brought the 10 Possessed Brick. He brought Cultist thing. He brought 3 2-man things of Obliterators, and then he actually brought Chaos Bikers. I was like, hell yeah, dude. Hell
They're
yeah.
actually not bad. Wait, did he?
They're
You
not.
said he brought the cultist thing. Did he bring the cultist, or did he bring the accursed cultist?
He brought the I'm looking at his list right now.
Like the 50 point kind of shitters.
So he brought the Dark Commune.
Oh, he brought
Abaddon-
the accursed cultist brick.
Yeah,
The one that
yeah.
regens in both phases.
Yeah, that's like the metal one.
That
right
thing
now.
is
you
insane.
run like 3 of them, and it's stupid insane.
They're insane. They're so good.
So essentially on the game, I was like, okay. He was like telling me, by the way, this guy, his name's Kevin, super awesome guy, and I was like, you're awesome, because he's like, yeah, I started like, I don't know, he's like 2 years ago or a year ago, and he's like, the reason I started playing is so I could play with my son, who's like 22, and I'm like, you're fucking awesome, dude. Hell yeah.
Dope.
You're like, I'm so happy you're like around, like playing in the tournament with your son. I was like,
Come-
fuck yeah.
Oh,
come
spoiler
here.
alert! I played the same guy in round 3.
Yeah.
Oh, come here, son. You're gonna
Yeah.
learn about the accursed cultists today.
So essentially he brought Abaddon and stuff like that, and he was talking. He's like, okay, well, watch out for this like infinity movement thing with possess, and then infinity movement thing with our commune where they could jump across the board. So when I was deploying, I was like, okay, well, my whole goal here is he has two man and blitz and deep strike, and I'm like, okay, he has one up on like trying to get plunging fire, so he essentially put a lot of them in buildings, but and I was like, okay, we have the center terrain like you saw, and we can like I was like, okay, my focus here is to push up the right side with like a Redemptor to try to draw out. I'm pushing my two Redemptors, one into the center and one on the right side to pull out his Possessed away from the center. And then to bring his other force into the center. I blobbed up my two Sword Brethren with the Judicator screening, like creating a screen line in front of them so that if he tried charging me with anything, I have fights first and it just dies. So essentially, I got turn one. I I advanced up, hit as best as I could, and I pretty much did hide. And then I was like, okay, here's what my plan is. I'm going to put bait out. I'm going to put my two Redemptors out to shoot at with the Blitz. I'm pretty sure they survive. If they don't, I'm going to be okay. Just suck up firepower. My lieutenant just sat on an objective and just held it the whole game. Because I just ended up screening out everything on that left side with my jump packs, and I started my scouts on the other, like off the objective, but behind the crates. So I set up crates like on an objective, and I set my scouts right behind it. This is going to be very important, and like a play that I did that I was so happy with. So first thing he does is I end my turn. He pulls out his mob, sits the center, and is like, okay, I'm just gonna have to sit the center, and then he slowly kind of crept out his Terminators. And then he ran his Possess near to my scouts on the right-hand side and was like sitting behind the building to try to do a counter-strike. And I was like, I see what you're doing here. So what I did was, came to my turn, I lined up my scouts from the crates to the edge. So it's completely move blocking. 20-man primary Crusader squad right there. And he just, with a Redemptor, he's like, couldn't even get to me with his possession. He couldn't get to the center with his possession. He's so far away. I was able to do a little bit of shooting as Terminators, killed like 3 or 4 of them, which is really big. And then I charged in with my Sword Brethren, completely wiped. It was so much. He was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna pick these bad boys up. He kept dropping a blitz all over the tabletop. Essentially, what happened is he couldn't get his possessed to anything, and I just completely blocked him with 5 little scouts. And then my 20-man just came in, picked it up, and then I took some of my Sword Brother and just literally pushed up into his Terminators. They were pretty much dead, except for like Abaddon by the time I got to him. And Abaddon fucks though. He hits so hard.
Abaddon
I was like,
rips.
oh, he's probably like, and then he like tells me, like,
no, he's Gilliman. He's basically Gilliman.
Yeah, dude, it's so insane. So essentially what happened is I pushed up, I baited with my Redemptors for a blitz, everything got up where it needed to be. I kept him in his thing, and then pretty much ended up winning. The final score was 50 to 100.
I was gonna say, when you told me his list, I was like, that's the kind of list that slow rolls forward, but it survives on being tanky. But literally, Helbrecht and crew will pick up. Helbrecht and Lieutenant pick up everything in the game in one go. Like there is nothing in the game that survives them, and I think that's actually statistically true. I don't think anything in the entire game can survive Helbrecht, Sword Brethren, and Lieutenant.
Yeah, well, to be honest, it requires at least 1 CP, which to get sustained hits, and it requires an oath target. So it's like it's worth being killy because it requires 2 characters, like a strat and oaths, to like kill everything.
I think it takes out a Warhound Titan. Like it is disgusting amounts of damage. And I was thinking to myself, like, once you put that into Abaddon, he like that Terminator brain is gone.
And so then we were kind of just having fun and just talking until the end of the game, essentially. And so that was my first game, and I was like, "Ew, Let's
Yeah.
go, 100 points.
Oh yeah. Charge in, counter charge, etc.
Secret Intel too was like a banger, dude. You're just like, oh, heads up too. If you play Secret Intel, the way it works is that you pick your 2 and you decide at that point if you want to keep the 2 or change them, and then you pick the other one.
That was good.
Because a lot of people didn't know that. And
yeah, because it's the alpha omega thing.
The
that actually became one of my favorites. Like I like that one a lot, just because like it forces movement.
It's fun, yeah.
On the tabletop, it forces it into different parts of the table, so everything's not just all on one side or all on the other.
Yeah.
Sweet. I'm actually gonna walk backwards into the restroom while to use the bathroom real quick. But Dameki, you want to do the game 2?
Yeah. So game 2, I got to play Chaos Demons.
Ooh.
This list had the Great Unclean One. It had Rodigus. It had Nurglings. It had
some flamers here.
Yeah. He had no flamers. He was pure Nurgle. So I really respect this man, except for Bellicor. Everything else was pure Nurgle. So yeah, this game also very close. It was still an L. I still took an L on this one. The thing with this particular match, though, we did end up calling over a judge because I have a Foul Blight Spawn. Foul Blight Spawn says if he's in a unit, that unit has fights first.
Yeah.
And so we call over a judge. Judge comes over and he's like, no, the guy that charges has charge first. I was like, we both have charge first. So who goes first? So then the other judge came over and he's like, well, the defending player would go first. And then the other judge goes, well, but the player that charged and he has fights first. So wouldn't he go first? So then the other judge goes, oh yeah, then that player should go first if it's his turn.
What's the point? What's fights first then? What is fights first?
Yeah.
It's nothing.
So there was a huge debacle, or not even debacle, debate all weekend for me as to, well, what the fuck is the point of fights first?
Yeah, exactly.
And I talked to some other players about it, and then they were like, no, the defending player would fight first because the defending player activates first on continued combat.
Exactly. Yeah. So the two fights
Ricky,
first.
what you missed was, so during my second match there, we had a rule come up between charging fight first and Foul Blight Spawn fight first. So the first judge came by and he was like, nah, the player that charged fights first. Then the other judge comes by and says, no, defending player fights first. So then they were like, well,
defending player is the answer, by the way.
Yeah, that is the answer. That is the correct answer. But then it was like, well, let's look at the rules. We look up the rules on the app, and there's nothing in the rule in the app about this particular situation.
No, the defender. No, the answer is that.
Yeah, and that is the answer.
Because
so what happened was I had a rule that ruled against me, even though I was the defending player, because they said the charging player gets to fight first. So this happened, and I was like, well, damn. And because like if I would have had fight first in that situation, I would have killed whatever charged, and I probably would have won the match. But instead, what ended up happening was, because they ruled in the favor of the charging player, I lost my Plague Marines and I ended up losing the match. I ended up losing this one though by, let me take a look. 82 to my 73.
So close.
So yeah, 9 points. It's not bad. It was just unfortunate to just have a weird
reason for it.
Yeah, it's
because like it wasn't an issue the rest of the weekend. Rest of the weekend, like I had fight first all the time. Like I was like, okay, but like just that one particular game and me being rusty, and I was just like,
ironically, it is in the core rules. I think it's in the special rules thing.
So I pulled up what I had access to. So I went.
I'm actually really surprised that they
Yeah, I was
Oh
super
man,
shocked too.
it's so tilting. I'm so sorry. For
Yeah,
that.
that's like a very obvious rule that's been made
It's
clear now. So I guess for viewers, two play if you have fights first and you charge, uh, both player charging is fights first. Charging gives you fights first.
Yep.
And so if two players, like one player charges the other, charging player fights first because of course the usual. If two players have the exact same rule, it will always go to defender.
it
Whether
essentially pushes
you have
you to the
you both
fight
have
phase.
right, like you both have neither, or you both have fights first,
Mhm.
it'll always go to defenders. So the reason fights first is useful is because it saves you when you are getting charged.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. It does nothing for you when you're charging. There's no point of it.
Yeah,
because
so-
when you
Yeah.
charge, you can still select another unit outside of the fights first unit.
And let's say, like, for some strange reason, like me, I had multiple fights first. So I had two blobs that had fights first. So if he charged both units with fights first, I get to select one, fight with that, and then it's his activation. And then it goes back and forth like it normally would in continued combat. So
that's bizarre that they ruled that, but they fixed it later, which is good. But it sucks that it cost you your second game. Who are you fighting again? Sorry, I missed it.
I was playing against Chaos Demons, pure Nurgling.
Oh, demons.
Or not Nurgling, pure Nurgle, minus Bellicor. So yeah, it was a fun match. He was playing fixed, and I should have immediately blown off the table his Beast of Nurgle as soon as they came out from Deep Strike, but I didn't. So that's kind of like why also he like inched over me in scoring because they were just in the back, just constantly scoring points.
Oh my god.
So yeah.
I mean, in fairness, him having pure Nurgle, pretty cool. You don't see that very often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually, side note, him bringing Bellicor, how do they rule Bellicor's aura rule?
Which rule?
Which one? The shooting one?
Oh, no. So there's some tournaments that allow him to use his own aura to deep strike in.
Oh,
because
I don't
the
think
way,
you're supposed to.
Yeah, and he didn't use it. He didn't use it that way.
I was very curious because I know that I think this tournament allowed you to do it because what you do is you deep strike him 3 inches with the strap because he's technically in the shadow of the warp or whatever. So you deep strike him back line 3 inches and then you just drop everything in his back line at 6 inches.
So this was also the first match of my concern about Mortarion because
you okay, buddy?
I think I put him into Rodigus and I was like, it'll be fine. And like him and Rodigus literally just fucking slapped each other for like 3 turns.
Yep.
Before
Tommy
Rodigus
sticks. Let's
died.
play some Tommy sticks. Let's go.
Bro, I was just like, Morty, come on, man.
I love Rodigus.
Dude, he's sick.
No, I think the demonic rule, it says, I'm pretty positive that there is a rule for it that I don't believe Bellicor is allowed to set himself up with his own shtick. That sounds wrong because it's not.
It's way too strong. First off,
well, one, it's too strong, and two, he's not in the Shadow of Chaos because he's not on the fucking board.
Yeah, that's true.
Like it's like one of those weird things where it just needs an FAQ.
Yeah.
I actually went into the Discord today because I'm like painting up some of my demons and I'm like kind of want to make a cool little list. I'm like, what's the general consensus of this? And I really haven't got a reply back yet, but I've been like asking tournaments and like stuff like that, like looking at how people are ruling it right now.
I absolutely love Rodigus too. I think he's so funny.
Yeah, 100%.
He's really
becoming
funny.
a staple in a lot of top lists. I've noticed, like they're running him, and I'm like, let's go.
I mean, T12 4-up invul, 22 wounds. The guy has a dev wound flamer, and also like his weapon isn't terrible. But the fact that he can choose an enemy and give +1 damage in the fight phase is just really good.
Yeah.
Anyway, Garrett, what's up?
What's up? All right. Yo, I actually played Kenneth. Kenneth is an XPZ member and he's a super awesome dude. He's actually works with Atesh. So, which was super cool.
Over
He's super cool.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So we had a good time. This was a really interesting match. He was playing Tyrannus. He was playing Monster Mash Tyranids.
Crusher Stampede?
He was playing Invasion Fleet.
Oh.
Here's what he did. He's playing Nero Tyrant, Old One Eye, a Biovore, a Carnifex, 3 Exocrines, 3 Horror Specs, 3 Maleceptors, a Neurolictor, and a Ripper Swarm, and a Trigon.
That is an awesome list.
Bro,
that is so much beef. That is so much beef.
Let me tell you what. Those Maleceptors and Trigons are like, Sword Brethren, we got your number. What is our thing? -3, 3 damage. And I'm like, excuse me?
Oh,
what?
yeah.
Dude, it was like...
Yeah, the Maleceptor hits like a train. I forgot about that.
So the Maleceptor was super insane. Okay, so let's set the stage. I'm like, fuck, I don't know how to deal with this. There's so much big boys, and like, I have to move up to you to kill you, essentially. Like,
don't do too much play-by-play because it's a little hard to visualize. But like, what did they do to you and your poor Black Templar butthole?
Essentially, he.
Hold on. I can act this out. Hold on. This is
oh, sorry. Yeah, okay, you got that. So I want you to name that glove this, Dameki. Psychic Overload, Blast, 18 inches, D6 plus 3 shots, 10 AP2 flat 3.
Ooh. Yeah, all right, dude, you're not even using lube, bro. It's not. So okay. So turn 1, I set my guys out, and I set a Sword Brethren on the right hand side. I set another Sword Brethren Hellbrex unit on the left hand side. This is where all the scoring units helped, because essentially what happened is I moved up. I was able to. He kind of just came up the board, and I'm like, I can't do too much. I put my 20 squad in reserves as usual to get the 5 at Feel No Pain come off the side of the board. So essentially what happened is I came over and I was like, I have to be aggro. I have to take my chances. And so I went to a Maleceptor, tapped that bitch, moved into another one. He one-shot like pretty much a 10-man block of the Judicator Sword Brethren, and I'm like, I was able to take out his big brain thing, like turn 2 with my with like the flamers. So I took that out, and that was actually huge. The thing is like particularly tanky, but it's got that really nasty it sends out Synapse, but it has that nasty shadow in the warp adjustment. That's exactly. And so essentially I was able to score points with my secondaries with my other units. I brought my 20-man in, they came in, one tapped a Trigon, and they started moving up the field. So I was able to essentially just score with my other scoring units while trying to like sit the center and do stuff. He ended up killing my other 10-man, my 2 10-mans. I had a couple Redemptors. But crazy play is he put his Trigon on next to a ruin, and I was on the objective, and I was able to cleanse it with my my lieutenant, and I took my my jetpack guys and completely made a circle around them so he couldn't charge in and kill it and stop any of like the action. No, it was the burning objective one. That's what it was. So I was able to burn the objective because he couldn't stop me from burning it or whatever, because I had all my jetpacks around him, and so he couldn't charge in and kill him.
Oh, you move blocked him.
Yeah, essentially, but perfect circle around. And then essentially what happened is that he was like, we were on the clock, and essentially what happened is we both ran out of time.
Wow.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so he was thinking about a lot of things, and
okay. Because I was about to say, I'm kind of surprised he did, because he has a lot of just big bugs.
He was. We were both like trying to do stuff like that, and then he was. I was able to score some quick points at the end. We got to the end of the 4th round essentially, and he stopped it. He was very by the. He's a really cool guy. He's very by the books, and so I was like, okay, I respect that. I ended up winning it by 6 points. It was like 66-60. And so I was able to make some few plays at the end by getting behind field enemy lines and do stuff like that. I think we had like maybe 20 minutes left in the thing, and I was like, hey, I mean, we could totally play this out if you want to. But he was like, you know what, these are what the rules say, is that if there's 10 minutes left of X, we just can't finish the game. And I'm like, okay. And so we scored it up, and I ended up winning by 6 points. He was an amazing dude. He's one of the people that is like the reason why I love this community is like even no matter like the losses and stuff like that is like anybody like win or losing, you always talk to people in passing like, yo, dude, how'd you do, like stuff like that. He was such an amazing dude. And he
Cool.
actually ended up turning out to do really well in the tournament as well too.
Yeah.
So you said he was running, was it Invasion Fleet?
Yes. So
Which one is that? That's the static one, the one that the index came with, right? The pick.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention too. Round 2 was Dawn of War, Scorched Earth, Chilling Reign.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, here it is. Yeah, Invasion is it's the one where he picked sustained, lethal, or precision, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Essentially that one.
I'm
So
assuming
he was able
picked
to like if
sustain.
he wanted to do if he wanted to do stuff like that, which I think for that list is really strong, to be honest, because you're like, okay, do I need precision at this moment? Do I need XYZ? So I think it was really good. He played phenomenal for what he's doing. I think just where my list changed from SoCal was those small scoring units, and if I would have my other list, there's no way I would have been able to win at all without those scoring units.
Yeah, I kind of hoped he was going to run Crusher Stampede. Crusher Stampede's pretty bad, but it's really funny.
It's fun. It's fun.
That's cool, dude. The triple Maleceptor, dude. It's unfortunate because the horror specs, like anything you touch, you just pick up because the Sword Brethren are insane. But it's that those horror specs would just like literally and figuratively like shovel dudes into their mouths. Like they would just rip them up because it's like 14 attacks at 712. It's insane.
Actually, my 20-man brick came in, and I was just like, okay, you guys have lethal hits, full rerolls, and melee with Grimaldus, and it's just like I would roll up to something. He's like, I don't really know how to deal with that.
Yeah, you just
I was just, So the cool thing is the way the Val works is that you spend a CP in your command phase, and you're like a unit with a character, you get an extra Val, and it lasts until my next command phase.
Right.
So it's really strong.
Real quick, James Norska, thanks for the 8-month resub over on Twitch. Appreciate the support. Thank you. All right, so good. I mean, so you guys both fought CSM, and then it was Nids and Mono Nurgle. Speaking of CSM, Dameki, what could your third one have been?
Hey, I played CSM. I played Garrett's first round guy.
How'd it go for you?
That guy was so cool. He's such a nice
dude,
guy.
he's such an awesome guy.
So that one actually went well. I did pull out a W for this one, but this was when I wanted to throw Mortarion in the trash can. So and I was super aggressive with my PBCs the whole weekend. They did not sit still unless I absolutely needed that 2-up, which most of the time I did not. Good luck, Garrett. And so I was being super aggressive all weekend with those PBCs, moving them up the board, Mortarion and stuff. So Mortarion eventually, so round 3, let me just go ahead and say what that was. Round 3 was search and destroy, take and hold, sweep and clear.
What's sweep and clear do again?
I don't know. I have to look it up.
Okay, that's fine. Whatever.
So this is when I knew Mortarion was just fucking hot garbage, and there's a reason why they kept lowering his points.
Oh,
because
it's
he's so
sticky
bad.
objectives. Sticky objectives. Thanks.
Yeah, which
Thanks,
I
chat.
didn't care. I was already sticky.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, you were.
So, yeah, Morty is like in the center top to my side on the objective. He brings out his accursed cultist, charges Morty, and I'm just like, yeah, whatever, have fun with him. So he does his swing. I make all my saves, do all my, revoltingly resilience and whatnot. And Morty has like, I don't know, probably like 12 wounds left out of all that. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to hit you back. So I was like, all right, cultists, I don't really need to worry except for like it was the accursed cultists, the little mutants in there.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll just do my big sweep. So I was like, I'll just do sweep instead of strike. So sweep is 15 attacks at I'm pulling it
Like
up.
801 or something like that, or 811.
It's 7-1 -1-1.
So one,
And
one.
I took -1 of your save. Which didn't matter because they have like a what is it? Just
the
a
Dark
invul
Commune
demon
gives them a
save.
5-up invul, and then they
Yeah.
have the 6-up feel no pain.
Yeah. So I do the sweep, and I was like, I'll at least kill 10 of these things. I think I killed like 5.
Wait, did
maybe
he take them
6.
on? Did he take them on the mutants, not the torments?
So he would take the torments, and then like when it started to get, because as he started to dwindle more,
Mhm.
so this happened for like 3 rounds of
Yeah, because he
just
kept
the
reviving them.
accursed cultists
A Kurt's Cult. Welcome to
and
the Kurt's Cult.
Mortarion. And
Yeah.
like even when I was like, I've had enough, I'm going to 5. Like I'm going to the strike. It's 5 attacks, 14 strength, -3, 4 damage each. 5 attacks, 5. I do have a stratagem to give, anything sustained hits. And then if it's a objective, like I'm on an objective and I control it, or if they're within the objective's aura after I've controlled it, because we also give it the whole stinkiness, it turns into sustained hits too. Even with all that, took 3 rounds for Mortarion to kill 20 accursed cultists.
Okay.
Yeah, you want
Slight devil's advocate here. Accursed cultists are insane.
Yeah,
No, they are. They're really good.
Regenning 3 little guys or 1 big guy each command phase.
Yeah, it's
That was the
It's like you have to
this-
one-shot it.
This was literally the theme for Mortarion
the whole
the
time.
whole weekend. The whole weekend.
I'm shocked
like-
Rotwind didn't do more damage.
Like Rotwind, like Rotwind's good, but like the funny thing is that it's -2. So it's like, oh, I'm taking cover, like I'm in cover. So it's -1 and it's 1 damage. D6 + 3.
I love accursed cultists.
Wait,
I
And,
love
and,
them.
and it's not torrent. Like
True.
malignant playcasters is torrent. Like
I
so I'm just like, look at this garbage model. Like
So-
I love the model. The model itself is
Oh, it's
beautiful.
gorgeous.
It's the whole reason
Yeah.
why I picked up Death Guard. And Morty was a fucking beast in 9th, but like 10th, dude, like I could have taken Nurglings instead of him and been more happy.
You score more points with them.
so to the viewers who don't know what accursed cultists do, they are a annoying combination of for 260 or 255 points. They are 16 models, some that have like 4 wounds and then some that have 1 wound at T4 with like basically no save. But you put them in with the cultist character unit that gives them a 5-up invul, and they have a 6-up feel no pain. But the thing is like, oh, I shoot the cultists with bolt guns. Okay, whatever. I put it on the big guy. Yeah, I shoot them with melta guns. Okay, I put it on a small guy. So you can never tech properly for them. Not to mention it's a 5-up invul, and then there's the feel no pain. They also have a once per game advance and charge +1 to hit and wound, which
that's what he used to get to Mortarion.
Which
That's why I was just like, whatever. Have at him.
It's genuinely like high damaging. Those torments will hit.
Oh yeah.
But they regen they regen models in both command phases. But what they can do is they can either regen 1 big guy or 3 small guys. And since it's both command phases, there's a good chance that if you can't kill them in one go, they'll regen 6 to depend however many guys, and it's infuriating to deal with. Not to mention you could slap them with like Zinch Mark for skin shift or Nurgle for no shoot within 12. All kinds of other shenanigans. But the Dark Commune Accursed Cultists is a genuinely amazing unit that is that probably will receive the I only regen on my own command phase nerf because like Eldar got.
Is that the ability of the thing, or is that because of the Dark Commune?
That is the Dark Commune. The Dark Commune gives them a 5-up
that's
invul
right.
and gives them the once per game.
Yeah,
thing.
because like I roll up to it and I just say, okay, your dark commune guy's dead.
But it's
So-
five models. You can't get
Oh,
rid
it's
of
a whole 5 model.
Yeah,
okay.
you gotta get rid of
I
the
think
demagogue.
if you kill the main guy, it gets rid of the 5-up feel no pain though.
No, no, it's
So-
all from the main Iconarch or whatever her name
That's
is.
yeah. You could like he's the
Um,
character because he's like Romaldus, I think, because it's like he's the main character and everything else is like a bodyguard essentially, and so you can go up and just one tap his character and it removes everything.
You can't with precision because it's a group of 5 like characters.
Let me double check that.
Only
'Cause that's
one
what I. That's
Only
what
one
I
has the
did.
character keyword, but I think you still have
No,
to
no,
break
so-
through the body.
No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. So it's just like Grimaldus, because the way Grimaldus works is that you have Grimaldus, and then the 3 servitors are just bodyguards, and he has a character keyword, so precision goes straight to him. What you do with that unit is that you say, okay, you shoot a big gun at my unit, I'll take it on his servitor for the 4-up invuln, and you kill it, but you just one tap hit the main character. That's how Grimaldus works, and he works the
you're
same
right.
way.
You're right. It is if a character model in that
Yeah.
unit is visible, the attacked model player can choose to have it allocated to the character model.
Mhm.
Oh, you're very right. Yeah. Yes, you can precision out the annoying one. That's true.
Yeah.
And yeah, most of the special abilities are on the demagogue. I think is what it's
yeah.
called.
I think
Yeah,
the
and-
5-up feel no pain lasts though until the beginning of the next turn, but it's still like it's not there no more.
And I don't think anything about list had precision, so it didn't really matter. So
Sure.
the most annoying part of his list, he did really well keeping his Forge Fiends out of entropy cannon range, because entropy cannon is no longer 36, it's 24 inches. So it forced me to move my PBCs, but I still couldn't even get them close enough to deal with the Forge Fiends. But and it was the same thing with Ennis. Like their Forge Fiend shots were whiffing hard. Like I was just like, oh, thank God. Like I get that my PBC is still here. Yay. But and like my
Ooh.
PBCs were doing work. The one unit that was just completely obliterating my PBCs that weekend were the Obliterators. Obliterators
Ah.
were
4 damage melted 2.
destroying my PBCs.
4 damage melted 2. Let's go, dude.
Yeah. So that match I did end up winning. I did
Oh, you did win.
yeah, I did end up winning this match.
The way you talked about Morty, it sounded like you lost.
Well, it was just frustrating because like he was tar pitted like the fucking whole game, right?
Right.
So let me take a look. I think I
Um,
actually recorded this one.
Someone in Twitch chat said, Charlie D said, could have used the precision strat with Morty. I
Oh, yeah.
totally forgot. I forget
forgot
Epic
about that.
Challenge exists all the time.
Epic
Yeah.
Challenge is fucking awesome.
Epic Challenge is awesome, but I constantly forget it exists.
I used Tank Shock so much this weekend too.
I love
'cause
Tank Shock.
literally everything in my list, minus Mortarion and the Plague Marines, I could Tank Shock with. So I would literally just push a floated blow drone like into somebody and be like, all right, Tank Shock. Like I didn't even care. Like most of the time it was to take out a bigger tank. Cause like I'd be like, oh, this thing's at like X wounds, Tank Shock. This one I won 86-59.
Oh, no. Oh, wow. Solid win.
Yeah.
Hot damn.
Yeah.
Good shit.
I got
Oh.
really good on my draws. Really good on my draws.
I gotta say, so as a night player, I love Tank Shock. It's like, tell me you run Canis Rex without telling me you run Canis Rex. Freedom's Hand, Strength 20. Get
Oh,
'em.
bro, let me tell you a story about that. I'm playing World Eaters. I shoot Angron to 4 life. I have Canis Wreck, my knight, behind me, and I do the same thing. I'm like, I'm smart. I'll Tank Shock you. And I go into Tank Shot. I roll 22 dice. I need 4 mortal wounds. I get 3. I have to fight him. He fights on death and kills Canis Rex. I was like, fuck!
Wait, was this Angron?
Yeah, this is Angron.
You love to see it.
Oh, man, dude. I was so...
Angron was like the theme of the weekend too, because
Oh,
like
he
World
was
Eaters ended up taking the
gnarly.
tournament.
He was an insane player though.
Oh,
He
World
was,
Leaders of the
my
tournament.
God.
yeah.
Wait,
War
wasn't
Leaders
it like
won
a
the tournament.
three Predator list or some just weird stuff?
No,
no, it was pretty
no.
basic.
No, it was Angron, 2 rhinos filled with their crazy foot soldiers. Like I don't know what
Master
they are.
of Execution.
Yeah.
Like some quality, man.
Karn, or
He-
Kane or whatever his name is. The
No,
main
yeah,
character.
Lord,
Karn.
Yeah, Karn, and then 2 dudes on bikes.
Just a
yeah,
bunch.
Lord Invadus and like another
Lord of
like
Avocados,
Lord,
yeah.
So he played that
Avocado. That's what
yeah,
everybody
Lord
yeah.
of Avocado. Yeah,
So
yeah.
the thing with his list is that he was able to maneuver and play it so well
Oh
and
yeah.
like pick apart like armies. It was like wild. It was like different
Oh,
level
yeah.
kind of play. Yeah.
So yeah, that was my round 3. And that, like I said, that's when I wanted to throw Mortarion in the trash can.
Fair.
And I had to
Garrett?
play with them the rest of the weekend. So
Alrighty. So I got to play a fantastic player called Kenny Heater. Awesome
Oh,
dude.
not Kenny. Not our
Yeah.
Kenny.
no,
Okay.
Kenny was shoutcasting, so Kenny was
Right.
on the announcer.
So
table.
I played Kenny Heater. I actually got to spend a lot of time with him throughout the tournament. We ended up like talking a whole bunch of stuff like that. He was a K-Suns player. He was super awesome. XPC player, just really good player. So he's playing Thousand Suns. So I get another Thousand Suns matchup, which is I was like, okay, all right, you had me in the first round. You had me in the first round, but not the second round. Let's go. So day 1, we're both playing. Dude, we're both like dead. It's like we're both like, gotta roll dice. Oh, what's the number? I can't think.
And
so-
dude, that was like everybody at the tournament.
Yeah, dude, we were so dead, and we like that game was like such big brain movement. So we started out. He had an Infernal Master, Aramon, Magnus the Red, a Demon Prince. He had a 5-man Tormy squad with the Umberlific Crystals, 3 Rubric Marines, a Rhino, 2 Vortex Beast, Occultist Terminator, and then Zangoran Lions, like basic scoring units. So essentially in the game, I was like, okay, so when playing Thousand Suns as Black Templar, I'm like, okay, I have defense against Magnus, so he's not my priority. I have my vow to give myself a 4-up invuln against Morty himself. So Morty just is like not good against that unit because it has a 5-up feel no pain and a 4-up invuln against all his attacks.
Wait,
so
he had Mortarion and Magnus?
Oh, Magnus, sorry.
Oh,
We were talking
okay.
about
I was
Morty so much.
super confused.
So
I
Magnus.
was like, this is going back to 9th. Like, what the
I
hell?
know. So Magnus, like, so for me, it's like I just have to put the buff on the right unit when I need it to make sure we're cool. So I ended up moving into the center with Helbrecht, and then I moved my other squad to the right-hand side. I was able to move up a Redemptor. I shot one of his units, ended up kind of killing his Infernal Master thing, but it was like had one thing left. Next turn was pretty big. He dropped his Terminators and accidentally forgot my Sword Brethren were over there, and I was able to make a fat charge onto his 5-man unit on the far right side. And then I was able to make a long bong charge from the center to a mortal Vortex Beast and kill it with the Hellbrick squad. And essentially, I was able to push up with my other Sword Brethren into his back line because I was able to like jump and move back there. And then he kind of was jumping around with Magnus all over the place, like just killing things. And I was just like, I just gotta score points now. And so I ended up like turn 3 or 4. I was like holding his home objective, and we're just literally no units left. And so I feel so bad near the end of the game because we're both like neck and neck. It's like 1 point difference each time we score it up. We're just like, and we're both fucking tired. So the end of the turn is the end of the game is very important. It was like 75 or something like that. And we're like, oh shit, where's this going to go? And I scored Assassination, and I had, whatchamacallit? I had Assassination, and then I had Tempting Target. So I pretty much had 10 units of my primary Crusader squad that I had to move to the center to try to do tempting target to pull Magnus away for him scoring points, essentially. And then I had assassination. Aramon was on 1 wound, and I was like, how do I deal with him?
Mhm.
Scouts with shotguns, baby! So I shot him, and he ends up failing 2 saves, and he was like, blank, and I'm like, fuck. Let's hit him with fist, baby! And I come up, run him, and punch him in the face and kill him. And
A
so
bunch of scouts just kill
with
Armin.
scouts just carry Aramon with a punch, dude. It was crazy.
It's
And
Was he on
ridiculous.
disc or no?
no, he was you don't run this. No, I think he was on. I can't remember. Maybe. No, he wasn't on disc. He wasn't. No. So, yeah, he wasn't on disc. So I was able to kill Aramon for assassination. And then I forced Magnus to have to go to the center to stop him from scoring primaries because he got turn 2. And this is where I feel super bad. So we score all the points, and we kind of score. And we're looking at it, and I'm like, okay, you win by 3 points. We shake hands, and we just go after the game, and I look down at the score, and I'm like, did you score assassination? And he's like, no. I'm sorry, bro. I just won by 2 points.
Oh,
And I felt so bad for it because he was such an awesome guy. It was tough. We both didn't score it, so it wasn't like one person kind of thing. And so it pushed me over by 2 points.
You got the
and
5.
I got the
Yeah.
5 and get the W. And
Oof.
I felt so bad for that because it was like literally a game where we got done. We're like, I don't care who wins, but then you're like, holy fuck, I won that like just slog fest. But like I said, dude, he was an absolutely phenomenal guy, and we ended up like becoming friends and like hanging out a lot throughout the tournament and talking and stuff. And so, like, it was super cool. I felt super bad, but he took it like a champ, and it was really cool. So at the end of day 1, I went 3-0.
Very
Nice.
nice.
And I went 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Also nice. I have a message on YouTube chat that says the winner of the tournament. The list was Angron, Karn, Invocatus, Lord on Juggernaut with Favorite of Corm, Master of Execution with the Glaive, 10 Zerks, 5 Zerks, 10 Jackals, 1 3 8-bound, 1 6 Exalted 8-bound, and then another 3 Exalted 8-bound with 2 Rhinos. So I'm assuming it was most likely Master of Execution with 10 Zerks in a Rhino, Karn with 5 Zerks in another Rhino, Invocatus on his own, Lord on Juggernaut with the 6 8-bound, and then take place forward into face.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, essentially, yeah. So that was pretty much day 1. That night, my calves were sore as hell, and I had a crazy dream. And also that night, myself, Kenny, Cody, and Brad Chester went to Cutwater and
Hell
had a
yeah.
good time.
He went there like every night before the
Dude,
tournament.
I love Brad Chester. He's so fun to hang out with. Like, he's such a sweetheart. He's so fun.
The and Cutwater, I still haven't been, but you keep telling me how great it is.
Oh, dude, even they were like, yo, this place is great. And Brad's like, I need to hang out with Dameki because Dameki knows where all the good places to eat at are at in San Diego. And I was like, that's why I'm fat, baby. Mm-hmm.
All right, what's game 4?
So game 4, we were rocking. Where's my mouse? Let's see. Game 4, Hammer and Anvil, Vital Ground, Chilling Rain. So my game 4, guess what I played against?
CSM?
Just take a guess. Yep, it was CSM.
God damn.
So
Dude, oh my god.
CSM, baby.
Dude.
Again.
Just
yeah.
wait, Bricky.
Oh,
just
yeah.
wait.
Oh, is it special?
So all of my games have been pretty close. This was the one where it was not close. I had really bad draws on tactical. And like, I was just getting it handed to me the whole time. So it was CSM, Terminator Brick. What else do you have? of course, Obliterators, Forge Fiend, the whole shtick. Did this guy have possessed? I can't remember if Michael had possessed or not. So the score ended up going 40, me 44, him 66. And it was it was a long one. Like I said, I got really bad. First I started off hot because my first two draws
You are
were
hot. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
tempting
what do you
target.
mean nothing's changed?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey.
All right.
My first draw was a tempting target in area, no, an assassination. So I immediately just dropped assassinate. The second turn I got area denial and storm hostile objective, and then my next one was deploy teleport homers and investigate signals, and like it was a freaking fight in the middle, like nonstop and stuff. So like I couldn't deploy homers because I needed all my shooting. Same thing with investigate signal, so I ended up having to drop both of them. Next round I took no prisoners for 4, bring it down for 0, so I tossed that one. And then the final round I took overwhelming force and behind enemy lines, and I couldn't get it behind enemy lines because like I had lost a good chunk of my army. And he was consistently scoring like every turn.
What
So
was
that one,
what was his list again?
it was CSM. I don't have his entire list, but it was like chosen
Rhinos, Forge
chosen,
Fiends.
yeah. All
Okay,
that.
so it was classic.
Yeah. So
Okay.
like, and like he managed to out OC me on objectives, which was another issue. So like it wasn't like I didn't have anything on the objective. He just maneuvered in such a way to where like even with what I had, I didn't have enough. So like I only scored primaries twice for vital ground. I only scored 2 7s, and he scored 3 7s and a 2. So yeah, it was a rough one.
Damn. I'm assuming it was just overwhelming, like Chaos Marine Force just kind of pushed it through.
Oh yeah. And really, really atrocious rolls. Like it was a really bad day for me, or at least for the start of the second day.
Sure. Garrett, game 4.
Alrighty, so I actually had coming into this game, I had what is it, imposter syndrome or whatever it is, where it's like, fuck, I'm playing on the top 5 tables right now, and I was like, I feel like I do not belong here.
Dude, going 3-0 feels like a curse sometimes.
Dude,
You're like,
people,
you walk in day 2, like, oh my god.
So like everybody, like I went out to eat with our homeboys from at ease, good guys, bad dice, and they're like, "Oh man, you're doing so good." And I'm like,
yeah,
I'm
you're like, all right, Garrett.
He's like, oh, there's Ennis. Oh, oh, there's Nick Nanavati. Oh,
I played, I was like playing next to him. So,
yep.
you
see like, ooh, table 3. Like, oh, God.
I looked at my thing. I was actually, I was talking to a test that night, and I took a screenshot of where my placing was. I was in 10th place for the overall tournament, and I sent it to a test, and then he was just like, dude, just drop. Just drop, and you're good. Drop. Yeah, I was like, hell yeah.
3-0, baby.
Yeah, so this is like, it reminded me of when you're playing Majora's Mask, and it goes, dun dun, day 2. And I call it the learning day, because once you get to that table, you are playing a different game. It feels like. So I played the winner of SoCal.
Oh,
the winner
crap.
So guess what I played?
Who was this
CSM?
Again?
It's Arthur.
Oh, it's Arthur, right. It was. Yeah. Oh, you played CSM?
I played CSM.
Oh, that's so funny.
It was I think it was a close game. But it was a live by the sword, die by the sword kind of game.
Okay.
Essentially he was running a chaos lord, 2 dark communes, master possession. Oh, you're gonna like this coming up soon. He was running cultist mob, 3 chaos rhinos, a cursed cultist, 2 10 chosen bricks. So the funny thing is his list is like my list, but chaos. So it was like really cool. We were like talking. I was
Right.
like, I'm
It's
super
lots
stoked
of
for this.
infantry kind of heavy.
Yeah, it's like chosen are
Was,
like the sword brethren.
Was the
And then
mop with chosen, or do you have a possessed bomb?
no, you didn't have possessed.
Okay, so the mop was with
Yep,
chosen.
it was
Okay.
chosen. And then he brought some noise marines.
Ooh, they hit a lot harder than people think they do.
He brought two 5-man units of noise marines. He brought a 4-man thing of obliterator and 2 nurgling.
Apparently Arthur also won the Hammer of Wrath tournament as well.
Yeah, so
Oh boy, god damn.
this guy, dude, he is so cool. I learned a lot from him. Like this was just like a learning day. So
Yeah.
essentially, I deployed up. Vital Ground was really tough because it got rid of the center thing, and then it was like 2 sides. The reason why CSM is so good is because they have movement, and then they can be like, you need lethal hits, you can put it here or there, wherever you want. Essentially, where me, I'm like, I move about 6 inches, and I can choose at the beginning of my command phase. So that's kind of how that one works.
They get to attack really well.
Yeah, so he moved up. So he kind of split his forces, and my whole objective was to kind of split his forces in two, to at least his chosen, right? And I felt like if I split his chosen up, I can kind of work myself in where it needs to go. So on the left hand side, I moved up Helbrecht with the Redemptor, killed the noise breeds, killed a rhino. He sat behind of essentially the middle terrain to try to jump out and go where he needs with his chosen. So here's where I lost the game. I bring my 20-man in, and it's my turn, and I have one of the walls, and so I have like 5 inches from the edge of the board to the wall on the objective, and he has a 20-man of curse.
Bro, is that what you call 5 inches? That's pretty
what
big, bro.
I mean,
I'm sorry, my reference, yeah. So,
this is 6.
Oh,
yeah, it looks
is
about
that
right.
what you
That
tell?
was
Yeah,
about right.
accurate,
I believe that.
accurate.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, chat, is that accurate? Let us know.
Yeah.
So I am within 6 inches of the occultist, and I need to make a charge with my 20 blob, and it fails twice.
Nice. Let's
And
go.
essentially, what happened is he closed the gap, and I couldn't move anything, and so I just tried my best to keep trying to score. I actually put my Judicator into his thing, and it whiffed bad. And so, like, enough to be like, he was like, holy shit, that was bad. Holy shit, like, lots of ones. Like, you killed, like, 3 cultist mobs with it. Like, it was really bad. He slammed the Chosen into Hellbrecht squad. I fought on death completely, like, pretty much killed his Chosen squad. Kept that objective over there. The charge, missing the charge just allowed him to completely consolidate that whole area, and I couldn't move up anything because I had to move around, and he did lots of smart moving. But if I would have been able to make that charge, it would be a completely different game. The final score ended up being 50-67. It was still relatively close, I think, but it was a good learning experience. That's where I start learning that my list needs a land raider. It needs movement, and the more I start thinking about it, my next game we'll talk about in a second is I need something to instantly pop a rhino, and I need a land raider for movement for my sword brethren, because moving up the board on feet is at high end stuff, not a viable option in my opinion.
So, Rainier, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. They said Arthur using noise marines to force units to fail battle shock is brutal. Is that what he was doing?
Yeah, so that's what his goal was. I was like, bro, I got a 5-up leadership across the board. Like, I don't fail.
Because he has multiple, so he could it didn't work, I'll do it again.
Yeah, essentially, it's a really intelligent play. Like, against like certain things, it's just like game breaking, because you're just like, okay, double show, and then it's just like nothing. And then Loki has like a really good flamer in the squad too. So if you were trying to move Chap up, it's just like
the Doom Siren. Yeah.
The Noise Marines are so good that I highly recommend taking 2. And they're cheap. They're like 85 points for that. You slam them in a Rhino, and then you're just like, okay, I move up the board, I battle shock something, and then they lose points.
Yeah, I mean, when you can just get rid of someone's ability to Armor of Contempt.
Yeah.
That's huge.
But he was such a cool guy. Me and him talked, and like it's definitely was The funny thing is like a lot of people came like opponents were like, "Oh, you got the Black Templar list. Like, that's a lot of sword brother. That's kind of fucking scary." And I was like, "Oh, I can't move." But having is sick. But yeah, no, it was a fun game. End up losing, but
It is what it
learning
is.
day.
Dameki, how was your 5th CSN game?
All right. I did not play CSM, and I kind of felt dirty for my next game. So round 5 was
Ooh, I see what
sweeping
you did there.
engagement,
Right.
supply drop, and supply lines. I had to fight Astra Militarum.
Nice. Love to hear it.
Yeah, I had to play against your Imp Guard.
I love 'em.
Austin was a lovely opponent. He was fun. But I felt bad because it's all tanks, and then he had a blob of like guardsmen, right? With the guy on the horse.
Lord Solar Leontis, put some respect
Yeah.
on that name.
Lord Solariantis.
Leontis.
Yeah, that guy. And then 2 tech priests, and I can't remember what else, but
Tech priest.
yeah, he brought tech priests.
Tech priest.
I immediately bombarded Lord Soliantis with just all of the indirect fire. So that squad was pretty much gone by round 3 or turn 3. I plugged up his tanks. I also did him dirty because I took the contagion, worsen your ballistic skill and your weapon skill by 1.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I was constantly popping a CP for either smoke screen or what was it, cloud of flies. So
Okay.
like it was constantly -2.
So I didn't actually realize the Ancient Seer gives a vehicle 4-up invul.
Yeah.
That's
So
very
That's
good.
good.
Wow.
So he brought did he bring the Baneblade? He brought one of the big tanks. I forgot what variant it was.
The
Was
Shadow
it the
something.
Rogel Dorn?
And this is, he brought the Rogel Dorn too. He bought Rogel Dorn, and then he brought like Baneblade.
It's like the Shadow guy. I
So-
think it's the Shadow one.
Shadow whatever.
Was it the one with the small amount of shots with a giant gun?
Nah, I think
That's the
maybe.
Shadow Sword.
maybe. But I felt really dirty for this because like where he positioned the priest was like in a crack, and there was like
Okay.
he couldn't completely obscure it between the 2 tanks. And so like when I saw it, I was like, I already had 10 plague marines over there, and then like a PBC and some other stuff on this side of the table, and I had already like tar pitted his other stuff on the other side.
Sure.
So
But
I was like, I can see him. I'm gonna target him first with Malignant Playcaster and also the Foul Blight Spawn, just in case if it doesn't do it. Like just in case if I don't kill this little tech priest, and like I kill him, and then the other one had gotten so far away that the aura didn't matter.
wait, how
Plus
close
the
were you to him?
I was really close.
Okay, because I was going to
super
say he
close.
gets blown up if he's near a vehicle.
Yeah, so
Okay.
like I was like maybe 8 inches away.
Okay, I was
So-
like, I thought you like bombed him with the
No,
plague burst.
no.
I'm like, oh no.
No, because I know he was trying to use the tanks to obscure him, right?
Ah, okay.
So like, and I was just like, nah, I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna shoot that man. So
shoot him dead.
Oh,
and then I
man.
took that one out, and then his other one with the other set of tanks, was just like not in the fight at all. It was just really bad for him, just because like everything he wanted to shoot at, I was making -2 to hit.
Right.
So yeah, it was not a good matchup for him. But,
Right. All right. Because your minus to hit on guard is like really bad.
yeah.
Because 4-up ballistic.
So
Is
go ahead.
Is your -1 to hit just shooting, or is it melee and
It's
shooting?
both.
It's both.
It's both. And it's worsen.
Yeah.
So
It's worsen the
changes
skill.
So it essentially changes it on your data, like on your character sheet. It changes it. So like
Yeah.
that means you could take another -1.
It's extremely rude.
Yeah.
How
It,
rude.
yeah, it slaps. So I won that 96-25.
96-25. Wow, you
Yeah.
like walloped them.
Yeah.
Whereas Tank's just
Yeah.
not able to kill your stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds about right.
Yep.
I I'm glad you mentioned that because I actually have been theory crafting a militarum list I want to run. Um, it's really dumb, but I didn't know the engine seer could give the 4-up invul to a Bane Blade. So I have an idea. I don't think our stuff is. I don't think our big order from our local game store is going to arrive in time. But I want to do it for the Maui GT because I had a really fun
That sounds
idea.
awesome.
Yeah, I need caster cannon though. So
Yeah.
damn. Okay.
Also another game where Morty didn't do jack shit. Morty didn't even kill a single tank that game. The Plague Marines and the PBCs did. Like Plague Marines and PBCs did work all weekend long. Mortarian, womp womp.
Damn.
Just he was just an aura producer. That was it. Aura producer and rerolls. That's it.
Ooh.
Oof. Garrett,
All
what's
right.
your number
Do
5?
I really have to talk about this game?
Yeah, a little bit.
Alright.
Oh yeah, you do. Who'd you play? What'd you play against? What was
So
this one?
I
What was this one?
played Grant, which is dude. Top table players were just absolutely lovely. Everyone was super awesome. Grant, another fantastic player, super awesome guy. Got to hang out and talk to a lot about stuff. He was playing Death Guard. Woo!
Yeah.
Hey,
Guess
Death
what?
Guard.
Guess what? Fucks me, Death Guard.
Hey.
So he looks at my list and he says, -1 to your save, and I'm like,
Yeah, of course. Space Marine, Chaos Space Marine,
with
-1
no,
to your
I
save.
have like no info. So he actually has a super fun list. So he has a Death Guard Chaos Lord. He has Icon Bearer. He has 2 Malignant Playcasters by themselves that he throws in Rhinos just to run up the board.
That's super smart.
Yeah, so he runs them up the board. He only took a 10-man thing. So he took 3 Chaos Rhinos, one for 2 individual ones, and then one for his Plague Marines. Next, he took 2 bloated drones.
With flesh mowers.
Yes, with flesh mowers, and then he brought 2 Plague Burst Crawlers with 3. This is where you start
You
to
don't
see
take 2, you take 3. If
3.
you're taking
Yeah,
a PBC,
you're starting to
take 3.
you're starting to see what's happening against my list. So he took 3 of those. He took 5 Nurglings, and then look at that. Let's go ahead and just ally in 3 War Dogs.
Oh, he did the War Dog thing. Oh,
The
I
War
was like,
Dogs.
this is sounding good, but I'm
It's
missing
real
the part.
good.
I'm missing the part where it ruins you. Like, oh, there it is.
No. You don't
Helverin
even
auto cannons. Bop bop bop.
No, he took
913. We love that profile, baby.
Yeah, so it wasn't even that was amazing. It was just the way that he was able to use his contagion and his 8+1 AP just to completely give me no saves.
Yeah. With flesh mower especially.
Yeah, essentially what happened is I was just like, okay, well, I tried to move up, and he's just like, nah, dude, nah, I'm just gonna shoot you off the board. And I was just like, I just can't really do much. I think I should. What's up?
Well, one thing I wanted to bring up so that people listening are aware of what makes the Nurglings so good, if you never
That's a
into
good point.
them,
That's a good point.
is their Mischief Maker's aura. So while an enemy unit is within 6 inches of this unit, each time a model in that unit makes a melee attack, subtract 1 from the hit roll.
Yes.
So like if you're Death Guard and you're doing -1, here's another -1 in melee. So like, yeah, it's disgusting. It's nasty.
So he did that. It's actually what CSM did too. He had that and he just threw it in the middle with everything. So I actually was like, okay, so in my mind, I started the game and I was like, okay, well, I just have to try to kill his shooting, like his not shooting units, but his like scoring units. So I killed actually a shit ton of Nurglings. But he just outfired me. Like I tried to move up and he's like, no, you have no save. Here's 3 Plague Burst Crawlers into you. Have fun. And I would get close and then he would just move away. I actually had a pretty good play where I was able to move Sword Brethren up, consolidate into his character, and no escape him in the center. Where no escape is on a 4-up, you cannot leave combat. So he couldn't leave combat, and I rolled a 4 on it, and then if you fail it though, you have to take a desperate escape. So he did some tech that I thought was really good, and I kind of wanted to put out there against like big blob movements or stuff like that. So here we go on this. So in this right here is the center objective we have here. The tech here is his character was right here, and I had Sword Brethrens along the line. You can see the little nurglings right here, right? Fuck those things. So I had these.
That's quite the image you got there. I think
like
one of your
that?
balls is a little too small though.
It's
Dude,
yeah.
that's
It's growing a wart, dude, from playing it. Yeah,
typical Death Guard stuff.
yeah. So here's
it
the
looks
tech,
like a
right?
chode.
Oh
So-
no, it's sprouting hair. All right,
So
go ahead.
we could see my unit here is all along this way, right? So what he did on his turn, because I fight first, right, is he moved his Rhino within 4 inches right here. You might be asking, why is that important, Garrett? I can't consolidate.
Yep.
Because I have to move to the closest enemy unit. And I
Or
can't
objective.
go in.
Or
Yes.
objective.
But I think in Pylon it said no. That's not Pylon. It's that's consolidate.
consolidate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pylon is you have to go into the enemy unit.
Yep.
He moved his Rhino up, so I couldn't go in.
Oh, so because the Rhino's the closest, but because
Yes.
it's 4 inches, it's too far away to consolidate into.
Well, you
Yep.
can't consolidate into enemy units that you're not engagement range already. So
Yep,
my
for
Pylon, I literally was stuck here. So I was like, holy shit, dude.
Oh,
you're-
for Pylon.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
for Pylon.
so it was his phase, and he was I would fight first and kill that stuff, but he locked me out, and I can only attack with like 2 units. I killed it, but I can only attack with like 2 units right there. Plus, he had the Nurglings there for -1 to hit.
Yep.
So it's like 2 units, and I can't really do much. And then I can't pile in more units to kill him.
That's
So
really smart.
It's a big brain move that I kind of wanted to bring out more to the public, just like these little plays that I like to pick up on, and like that is super smart, and I want to like show you guys like how that plays out. So if you're playing like big horde armies like that, that's how you do it. If they consolidate into a unit that survives.
Yeah, because like the other problem that fucks you right there is Hellbrick.
Yeah.
Is that's Hellbrick, right? That's his base.
yeah, that's
his
Yeah.
base is just so massive.
I know, right?
Did
hot.
he run triple War Dog Executioners?
No,
Bricky.
he ran brigands.
Yeah, he just
Really?
The pro-
I looked at that list long and hard after Saturday.
yeah. So
Oh,
I-
right. The Brigand has the rotary cannon. That thing is so
Yeah.
good.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and he hits
so-
on 2s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then
And if
yeah,
he shoots the closest model, he gets +1 AP.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Oh my
literally like.
god.
So here's the problem with that list is that I move up, he shoots me, and then he says, I'm moving back 12 inches. And then he
Yep.
shoots me, and then I move up, he shoots me, and then he moves back 12 more inches. And then his little Plague Marines, all they're there for is to shoot and tar up anything they need to tar up. then he
Exactly.
shoots.
Yep.
He was a phenomenal player. He went in to be at the top 8, but absolutely phenomenal, super cool guy. I learned so much from this game in like melee shit from the shooting guy, and I was like, holy fuck, dude, he was.
Well,
such
I
a
mean,
good
you got to
player.
know about melee to handle shooting, right?
Well, yeah, and
To
this
protect your shooting shit.
well, this is the first time that I was like, if I'm playing people of this caliber or this shooting, I need a land raider. I need. We were talking like drop the Redemptors for Lancers. If I just didn't have them.
Oh, because your sword brethren can only go in a land raider. You can't go in.
Well, they have assault ramp, so I can move up and then move out and charge.
Okay. Just
so-
just so you can do the get out and
Yeah, and
charge.
plus it's like kind of like a mini tank too. They got like las cannons on them.
Yeah.
So
It's just it's an expensive model.
it's like 230, but I was like, I think I just have to do it. I've been looking at a repulsor work too, which is kind of cool tech with like the charge and fall back into it.
Oh no, dude. Land Raider Redeemer every time.
So I was looking at Land Raider Redeemer. I know it's absolutely amazing. It moves 12 inches. It's just when I was making a list and what I wanted to keep in my thing, which is the 2 Sword Brethren, I think I needed to move down to a basic Land Raider just for the las cannons for the actual shooting. We were talking about it. We're like, yeah, Redemptors are absolutely amazing, but you need to pop rhinos, and a Lancer can definitely pop a rhino.
Yep.
That's true, but the Land Raider Redeemer's Overwatch is
But it's
unfathomably good.
I just need it. I don't know if I have the 30 points in that list, and I don't want to lose certain scoring units,
So
and that's the
it's
only thing.
260 for the Land Raider Redeemer.
And it's 230 for the.
That's fair. The Redeemer though, like
It's amazing. And
overwatching something for 2d6 plus 6 shots at 622 ignores cover torrent weapons is
also
like, oh my god.
a Land Raider only moves 10, where that one moves 12 too.
The Redeemer does move 12. Yep.
And with assault ramps. There's a world where I run two of those. Ooh, Sword Brother.
I
But
mean,
I needed firepower, and so that's
Sure.
where the Land Raider, like minor stuff. But definitely Redeemer is seeing, and so this is where I started seeing a lot of faults in my list. I ended up losing like 32 to like 99 or some shit like that, and it was like whatever. And I was like super happy because he actually like kind of like talked, and he was like, yeah, he's like, I don't really know what you could have done. Like maybe started your 20 man on the board. Like there wasn't really much. It was just like a hard counter list, and.
The brigands, that brigand ate you alive probably too. Those brigands,
the brigands, and then the plague scrawlers, just
because the brigands are just like, okay, cool, all of us, that dreadnought is dead, and then we will like eat half of your sword brethren alive.
It was like turn 3, and we're like, yeah, I could totally talk this out.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Dameki, number 6, last one of the day.
The last one of the day and the last one of the tournament for me, because I did not make the top 8. Thank God, because my legs were on fire at this point.
Yeah.
Round 6, search and destroy, purge the foe, hidden supplies. I had to face the Unforgiven.
Oh, Dark Angels. Deathwing bricks.
One Deathwing brick. So one Deathwing brick. Your girl, your favorite assassin, Calidus assassin.
Yeah,
right?
Calidus.
Yeah.
I mean, she's cool. Not my favorite, but yeah.
All right. So Calidus assassin, scouts, Phobos lieutenant, the new one from the
sword. Yep.
Yeah.
He's so good. It's like whoop.
So insane.
Yeah. What else? 3 Redemptor, not Redemptor, 3 Repulsor executioners.
Oh, so it's like the dude.
Azrael, Hellblasters.
Oh, the Hellblasters. I love them.
I think that's
No Lion.
No Lion.
Lion's a little overcosted in my opinion, but he's so fun.
So this is the exact same list that the World Eaters player played against for the championship. The guy was super cool. He's super nice. He was kind of a little sweetie. He was fun to play with. He went into detail throughout his whole turn, like very explicit detail as to like why he did that or what he was doing and why. Me, I was just like, all right, I'm gonna move this and this and this, and then all right, shooting time. Let's do it. It was a really close game. I did end up losing 87 to 91. We both scored 48 on the primary. He just beat me on secondary. But my favorite part about this match, because I was like, holy crap, I can possibly pull this out. It came down to my secondaries, because I almost went first almost all weekend long.
Same.
Yeah. I got Bring It Down and Secure No Man's Land. And the turn before, I just scored Assassinate because I tried to kill the Phobos lieutenant and whiffed. And then I ended up, because I had already destroyed the hell. As soon as I saw the Hellblasters in Azrael, I was like, nah, they're gone. Like I'm mortaring the shit out of them. Like they will cease to exist by turn 2, if not turn 3, which by turn 2 they were gone. Um, the most interesting thing though was that I killed two of those repulsor executioners in Overwatch with a
What?
plague burst crawler.
With just roll good entropy cannons or what?
No, so what happened? Well, entropy.
See what
and
happened was
so I like, of course, I've been plinking, like we had been plinking each other like the whole game. I have a 5-up invul. I forgot like what the repulsor executioner has, but like I had been making some clutch saves. Mortarion actually did die this game.
pew,
Um
pew, pew.
yeah. And when I overwatch with a PBC, it has lethal hits. So they automatically wound. So it's like every hit I make in Overwatch is an automatic wound. So like I was just like, all right, here I go. And I just rolled really hot on my Overwatch, especially with the mortar. So I'm just like, all right, here we go. And like I kill one because I got hot with the entropy cannons and the mortar. And then the other one, I was just like, I only need like 3 or 4 mortars to go through. Like I needed 4 just to be safe, like if he saves some. But like, nah, they went through more, and like the PVCs did work. It was, but I still ended up losing by 4 points, and I was like, oh, sad.
Oh.
But it was a good match. It was a lot of fun. It was especially fun to see a non Terminator heavy list. Termies were still tough. They did exactly what I expected them to do. Like I had to sink a lot of resources into, because like getting rid of Azrael and the Hellblasters was a piece of cake. It was trying to get rid of the damn Terminators, and I also took the -1 to the save. It was just ridiculous. Like I was just like, what the hell? So yeah, it was just my list after, because like this is after I'd already talked to Garrett about his Death Guard match. That's when I was like, yeah,
He's like,
my
how much
list
war dog?
is not optimized at all. Like I was just like, oh, why didn't I think of that? Why didn't I think of that? But
You make a good point. It's like this is when you decide to put war dogs in your list.
yeah. Well, there's also some other tricks, but like I'll go into that when we discuss our list, like what will change at the end. But yeah, that was my last match. I gave him he asked if I had a sus dice. I was like, no, I'm sorry, I don't have a sus dice. I wonder who has sus dice.
Hey.
I didn't have any pog dice either to give him, so I gave him one of the tabletop tactics dice that I have, and then
You
I gave him my nah, and I gave him my objective markers because I was like, bro, I have so many objective markers at home. Here,
That's
you can
hype.
have these.
Hey, you're
yeah.
such a good guy, dude.
Look how cool you are.
You know what's super funny? Speaking of people that give out dice, is I playing Death Guard. The table under me was Nick
Yeah.
Nutavati and another player, and he was rocking a Thunderhawk, dude.
Yeah, I saw that.
Dude, those two were playing. It was insane, dude. And then I ended up getting some Art of War dice and stuff like that. He dropped some. He's like, "You guys,
Dude, the Thunderhawk, like that
was
Thunderhawk
sick.
was sick.
It was crazy, dude. It was crazy. He was doing so well with it too.
Yeah, because nobody expects the Thunderhawk.
Yeah, nobody.
That's why.
expects the
That's why
Thunderhawk.
when we were outside talking, I was like, you know what? Next tournament, I'm bringing a Manta. I have one. I'll bring it.
Yeah,
I'll just
Thunderhawk
bring it
is-
like, and it's 2 boxes, like not even built. I'll just put the 2 boxes on the table.
Thunderhawk
what's
is
that?
840.
Manta.
840 T12, 30 wounds. Can fly over something and drop bombs. Classic mortal wound thing. 2 las cannons, heavy cannon, which is, holy crap, D6 plus 6 shots, 10, 2, 3. 4 twin heavy bolters.
nobody expected the Spanish Inquisition.
And when a unit with a deep strike ability disembarks from this model after it is made a normal, it's a flying land raider.
Yeah.
For things that disembark.
Yep.
There's the tech. You fly right above them, and then you just drop Terminators turn 1 in their face.
Hey, look at all these Space Marines coming out of this thing. It's
God.
raining Space Marines.
Couple things real quick. I gotta piss. But Ferda Berta resub for 2 months. Thank you. And also gifted 5 subs. Let's fucking go.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. That's fantastic. Thank you so much. Thanks for the support. Okay, I'm gonna go pee. Garrett,
Yeah, go
do
take your
thing.
pee.
Yeah,
All
do
right.
your thing.
Oh, I'm gonna
Do
dim
it.
that thing. Oh god, we're just gonna watch, see what happens. Beep,
Why is he
beep, beep. I
why is he
don't know.
backing out like that? Does he not want
Dude,
people to see his bum?
I think Ethan. I don't know. Is it big now?
I
He's been
don't
working
know.
it out. Maybe we
I
should.
don't know. Need to get some
Uh,
implants? Maybe a
hey,
Brazilian butt
dude,
lift?
what? Hey, dude, he's been playing Nicki Minaj on.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
So
yeah.
he might have been like, I'm inspired.
Mm. Mm.
Oh man, fuck. So, okay, I'll talk about my last game. My last game was actually one of the hardest losses I've ever had. I played Eldar, and the guy was super awesome. He was like the homeboy that was sitting next to Brad Chester after we ate. You know who we talked about? Log tall guy. He was with he was on our table. He was like the tall guy. He was from like Denver or something, like Colorado. Super cool
Oh
guy.
yeah, he's part of the
Yeah,
Colorado guys.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's
yeah, yeah.
super cool guy. Me and
Yeah.
him were like, it was an intense game. We were like, it was intense. So catching up, Bricky, is
Yo.
this last game was one of the hardest games I've ever lost. It was difficult because it
Hardest,
lost me.
like you got just bodied,
No,
or
no, no, no,
hardest
no,
as
no,
in
no.
like it was just
Like,
a really tough game?
it's just a really tough game and
Okay.
a really big emotional loss for me because I could have went 4-2 and I lost best in faction because of it.
Oh,
But luckily the guy who got it is a good buddy of mine, Evan, and really good guy, fantastic Black Templar player. But it was really tough because I could have won it.
Did you really want that flag? Because
No,
you know, if
I
you
just
hang
wanted
that
best.
flag,
I just wanted best in faction just to have
I'm
best
just
in
saying,
faction.
because like if you would have hung that flag in your apartment and have people come over, they're gonna
Yeah.
have some questions for you because of
Um,
some of the cities that we live around and their history.
yeah, but Black Templars have a colorful
yeah.
fan base sometimes.
Yeah.
That's why this is like a gym shirt now, and I don't wear it out in public. I'm just like, so I played Eldar. That was my last game.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So the worst thing about this game is that I could have easily won it. I just didn't play something right. Well, no, I didn't deploy right, essentially, and it would have been a way easier game. It was a super close game. It was super close. Insane stuff happened. It was just emotionally draining. So he brought the Wayleaper, Farseer, Spirit Seer, 2 Fire Prisms, a Ranger, Striking Scorpion, 2 support weapons, Swooping Hawks, 3 Warwalkers, 2 units of Warp Spiders, and the 10 blob of uninteractive Wraith Guard.
Yes, the don't touch ever brick.
So I'll leave my mistake to the end. I started my 20 man in reserves, and I essentially moved up the field. He was like, I don't know how to deal with your list. And I was like, oh, no, dude, you can score stuff like that. So my main objective was just like, kill the Warp Spiders, because I know that they just jump around, score points. So if I can kill those, I can like kind of control the game. It's fucking a Wraith Guard blob, man. Was just like, oh, I'm an Overwatch. Here's 7 6s. And you're just like, hey.
Hey.
Cool. But so turn 1, he pops both my Redemptors because he's like, okay, this is a 6 and this is a 6. And then just completely blows them up, so I don't have any Redemptors for the rest of the game. I come in. I'm able to actually like take the center of the board and take the left side. So I move up the left side. I kill all his Warp Spiders. Well, not all of his Warp Spiders. I kill one of his units of Warp Spiders. I move my Sword Brother, my Judiciary Sword Brother up. Kill a Warwalker. Go into his Striking Scorpions. And so like I'm like in his like pretty close to like his backfield somewhat. He moves Warp Spiders over next to my one of the objectives scouts, and my scouts weren't able to kill it. There was one guy left, so he was able to go back and do score 5 by deploy point homers for like 28 inch range to jump in my backfield near the end.
Warp Spiders.
Yeah, Warp Spiders. It's I like actually had a sick play at the end. I was able to position my Sword Brother and Judiciary to jump onto his home objective and
Okay.
to his Altark, and I make the charge.
To his Ottar. Oh, to the Wayleaper.
Yeah.
He
So his-
didn't. He
No,
didn't
he
like.
He didn't move it up or anything like
Oh.
that because he just kept on his home objective with the fire prisms, stuff like that. And then he like moved his like jet bike guy on to a wall, and I was like, I'm never getting a hold of that guy ever again in the world. So it's the very end of the game. I get assassinate.
Nice.
I make the charge. I'm only able to get like 3 or 4 guys in, and I shit you not, I do 2 damage to him.
Hell yeah.
I'm not even joking. I rolled my dice and I got 6 ones.
Well, who is this with?
With my sword brother.
With your brother. Okay. So you just
here's
dice?
So here's the crazy part, is that was actually optimal for me. You want to know why? It's because I can use my no escape strat, and he can't fall back because he's infantry if I score a 4 up, and then he can't shoot me off of his home objective.
I mean, wouldn't killing him have been better anyway, though?
No, because I can kill him in the fight phase because he can't fall back.
Oh, he can't shoot you.
Yeah.
So he couldn't
and so
shoot.
he has to charge in with his guys, and so then I'm like, shit. The game literally came down to a 4 up roll, and I got a 3.
Ah.
And he was able to fall back, and he won by like, it was like 10 points. Because he was able to reclaim his objective, and he was able to score 5 points with the Warp Spider. It was a tough loss. Great guy, absolutely great guy. I love him to death. I can't wait. I hope we get to play with him at LVO and stuff like that. Tough loss. I forgot to use the grenade strats with scouts to try to kill that last one. That could have been big, and then just scoring that 4 up could have won me the game. And then I started thinking about it, and I was like, I fucked up my deployment. I should have started my 20.
You lost that deployment.
I should have started my that was one of the biggest learning things I took from the game, is learning when I can start my 20 man on the field, because I started putting them in reserves because I could start them on the board in more advantageous positions with a 5 up field no pain right off the bat.
Right, but there is no advantageous positions when it comes to Eldar because they phantasm everything away.
So the problem was like the biggest thing was that I had like a Tesh's ghost spirit behind me saying, young Padawan Garrett, move in a position to make them take the worst route back. And I just I couldn't. I just couldn't weasel myself around because he just pushed all his fire prisms and support things all the way to the backfield, and he only just had to move his Wraithguard.
Yeah. That makes sense.
If I would have, I think honestly, if I would have started my 20 man, it would have been kind of a blowout because he couldn't shoot me off the board no matter what. And then that's when I started learning, like, if I started it on, he has like 10 shots. You kill 10 guys without 5 up field no pain, because it's a huge risk starting on, because it's like, if you don't get first turn, they don't have 5 up field no pain.
Right, because Grimmy.
So he does have indirect. So you're like, oh, that kills like 5 people, and then I just advance to the center and just sit in cover and just can't die because I have a 5 field no pain, and then I can move my sword brother in, and then that gives me the freedom to do the Tesh Garrett, put him in a horrible position, and so I'm able to wiggle more out, and that was my biggest fault and one of the hardest lessons I had to learn Warhammer for that. And I'm super grateful for every loss I took for the thing, because I learned so much from amazing players at the top tables. It was tough losing all 3, but I mean, it's one of those things that just made me a better player, and I made amazing friends at all those tables.
Sweet. So overall, solid response for the XPZ's first ever major tourney.
I think that is what every tournament should strive to be. Yeah, it was a laid back barbecue with buddies.
Oh yeah,
and they did actually barbecue almost every day.
It was They were playing like pop punk music the whole time, and you're like listening to like the old beats you used to. They had music playing, and everyone was just like, I don't think they had like really any incidents at all. Everyone was super awesome.
It was a good location, because like it was in Kearney Mesa. If you're not familiar with San Diego, Kearney Mesa is like our Korea district. It's like Koreatown.
Oh,
There's
sick.
a lot of Korean places to eat, Vietnamese, like it's
Oh, it's
just
perfect.
Asian town pretty much. So it was like right there. It was in a dance studio, so that's why we had music, which was super nice. Um, it wasn't as spacious as
SoCal
SoCal.
Open. Well, it's
Yeah,
in the
because
Del Mar
Well, I mean, it's like a
SoCal
Fairgrounds.
opens
yeah.
at the Del Mar Fairgrounds, and it's in like this giant hangar almost. Um, where this is like a dance studio. There was how many tables were there? About
There's about
60?
they had like a room for like 110 people, so like
Yeah.
55 tables or something like that.
So I mean, it was kind of tight. It was kind of a tight fit.
Right
But like overall, it was still a great experience.
on. Mhm.
I did witness some things that I was just like, oof, and then something bad almost happened to me too. Like someone bumped into me and like their shirt grabbed my little like
The cart.
MDF.
Yeah,
Nah,
oh,
I don't
yeah.
have my cart. Some motherfucker
You've
still
been
has my
here so
cart.
many times. It just reminds me. I know where it is.
I picture us going to the studio tomorrow and him just like literally like throwing it at you
Yeah.
in the morning. Like,
It's a
take it!
fucking cart.
So but I have like the little MDF FLG like carrying tray. Someone's shirt like snatched it and it broke like the side handle. So I'm like holding on to the side handle with my thumb,
Ooh.
and like Tyler Russo though, he's been on Dice Check, the guy that plays orcs. Super nice guy, I love him to death.
Yeah, dude,
He
he's
comes up
awesome.
and he's like, "Oh shit, dude, do you need help?" I was like, "No, I think I got it. I got glue. Don't worry, I got glue on me." So I had to glue that back. But the worst thing I saw was someone bumped someone's like Tupperware, and it had their Custodes army in it onto the floor because it wasn't like closed.
Oh.
Onto the floor, bits everywhere, and I was just like, "Ooh,
Ooh.
shit."
Fuck.
Carts are the best,
So-
bro. Get them.
Gotta get a cart. Buy a cart.
I cannot. Dude,
Um,
carts are. I don't know how I can do without it.
Random, yeah, same. Rather side note. Garrett, did your Eldar player have a night spinner?
No. So
then yeah, you
he-
definitely should have started them on the ground on the
yeah.
on the table.
So even if he had actually like Loki is telling me like that's like the only Eldar list he's been playing, but it's like
Mhm.
really good. Like it's like just move and then shoot what you need to. Like it felt like it was a pretty solid list.
Yeah, but the night spinner after it shoots
night
in
spinner's
with
pretty
its
nice.
indirects,
Yeah,
you
just
pick it.
can't move 2 inches and shit.
Yeah, well, it's not just that; it subtracts 2 from your move, and you can't advance.
Yeah, it's
You
pretty-
literally can't. So it's like, ooh,
That's-
Hellbreak Sword Brethren, 4 inches the whole game.
That's so stupid.
It's
I think
really
that's
dumb.
so dumb.
The night spinner's incredibly dumb.
Yeah. Yeah. No. I want to say congratulations to XPC for hosting absolutely the best tournament I gone to. It's only 2, but even being
Yeah.
to LVO and stuff like that, like the feel in there was just like you're hanging out with the boys, playing some Warhammer, drinking some beer, having a barbecue,
Oh, yeah.
and that's what they wanted, and they delivered perfectly. And I'm excited to go next year. Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah!
I was surprised at like, because like SoCal already has a bunch of heavy hitters down here. I was
Oh, they brought
surprised
it.
at how many people, like Ennis showing up, Nick showed up.
There was they brought in a
yeah,
lot of talent like that.
yeah,
Like, do you remember walking in and then you're like started looking at like the actual like really good players? You're like, holy fuck! I thought
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
just a bunch of SoCal players, but it's like world renowned players
yeah,
playing.
oh yeah,
The
100%.
I
That was Steven. That was Steven, probably, like
Mhm.
Steven Box.
trying to.
No,
No,
Steven's
no.
like the XPZ guy. Like,
Oh,
Yeah, the
gotcha.
guy. Yeah,
I was like, damn, he really did travel.
no.
No, I mean, SoCal, I'd argue, is the #1 place for playing in-person Warhammer games. I'm assuming there's like an East Coast area of similar quality,
Equivalent,
either
there's a couple Atlanta stuff. I
Yeah,
think that's
Atlanta or like
Florida.
Florida. I mean, maybe New York, but it's a little hard to rent probably over there. But
Yeah.
when you think about California, you generally think about high cost of living, and 40K is not a cheap hobby. So it kind of
Yeah.
people who can afford it, and so there's always tons of games down here and tons of options between the time from LA to SD.
Yeah.
I still want to run a tournament really badly, but I know the logistics for it are very expensive. So,
Oh, I did bring that up to Nick while we were there. So,
which Nick?
Nick of Dice Hammer.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
I've been talking to him a little bit about that of doing a dice check, dice hammer sanctioned kind of combo thing. I mean, most of the time you make no money off these things. It's just for the hell of it. But
it's a community thing. You want to like give back to what helps you out so much.
But I'd love to find a like a golf course or some whatever you'd run for like a wedding. One of those kinds of things, you know?
Yeah.
Be good. Anyway, that's all we got for the most for most of it. It's good stuff.
Want to talk about list changes?
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Do we want to do any questions or anything like that?
Yeah, sure. Actually, yeah.
So while we talk about lists, you guys could type in questions.
Yeah. Chat. If you guys got any questions, particularly for all this kind of stuff, please do. If not, do your thing.
Do your thing.
Your thing. All right. So besides dropping Morty, what would you do, Dameki?
So dropping Morty, obviously take Nurglings. So the options too, I would probably drop the Foul Blight spawn. Like if I'm gonna run Plague Marines, that heavy of Plague Marines, either it's drop the Malignant Plaguecaster or drop the Foul Blight spawn. If I'm gonna stick with 30 Plague Marines, I would add another Rhino. Even if I drop 10 Plague Marines, I would still run a third Rhino, empty Rhino. Just because like the tech of just body blocking with the Rhino or having a Malignant Plaguecaster in it to kind of tar pit other units on the board was really good. The combo that I was looking at was Lord of Virulence, adding him in one or two, at least two. Then the whole idea there is Lord of Virulence when he comes down, or it's not even when he comes down. I'm going to use him to kind of deep strike, but I could leave him on the board. Whenever he has line of sight of a unit, that unit loses cover. So it loses cover whenever it's being shot at. And I think also, let me pull him up. Board.
Yeah, well, he gives the ignore LOS and blast upgrades basically.
He
makes your PVC mortars way better.
Yeah, he literally just removes indirect from your PVCs. So like the penalties.
That's one thing I'm looking at. Lord of Virulence. Another thing is the Biologus Putrefier, because he's insane with the Plague Marines. So if I have the CP, the combo is that I do the sustained hits 2. I apply the -1 AP, right? So it's like 2 CP. Then his ability gives them lethals and criticals on 5s. So like lethals are on 5s and dev wounds are on 5s.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Wait, no. Critical wounds?
Critical. Just critical anything. I think it's critical anything.
Critical hits.
Oh yeah, because critical
hits.
Critical wounds.
Yeah, so then it's 5s. Yeah, it's just 5s for lethals.
Critical wounds is anti whatever.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
But yeah,
that's an option. All right.
Yeah.
All right, dude. I'm not gonna lie.
No matter what, 5 Nurglings are going in the list.
Yeah,
5 Nurglings are fucking going in the list no matter what.
Dude, that allows you to run fixed. So,
yeah.
Also, dude, I'm such a simp for the combo of the fucking Fart Master with the Rhino, the foul, like what's it, the Plague Caster guy?
Oh, the Malignant Plaguecaster.
Yeah, him by himself and a Rhino to give him to roll up onto a squad that you want to, give them the contagion that you want, jump out, give them +1 AP, and just flame them.
Yeah,
it's just gnarly.
Yeah, I mean, and the whole thing too is just the -2 to movement, -2 to charges. Like it's nasty. And then I would build. Essentially, I'm going to build my next list around fixed, and then take tactical if I feel like it's safe. But like you saw it at the top tables, most people were taking fixed.
So what I saw,
or not most people, but like a good. Like I would say half, maybe.
Yeah. So what I saw was Death Guard did it against me. That was my first game ever playing against someone playing fixed. They took deploy teleport homers because the way
Yep.
the objectives were, and he took assassinate.
Yep.
So he was just able to score, and then he just put 5 Nurglings down in deployment and was like,
That was pretty much almost every
Yeah.
fixed game I saw. It was assassinate, deploy teleport homers.
yeah, I mean that's
Because
kind
like
of
everybody's running ungodly amounts of characters.
I think those are the 2 best fixed secondaries if you can run them
Yeah.
and you have the right deep strike for it.
Or bring
Yeah.
it down if you're
Or
like
bring it
fighting
down,
Oh,
yes.
well, bring it down. Yeah, that's But those 2 I think are the easiest and best ones to score, and you have to play against a list that does that.
I don't know if I would. I might take out one-footed blow drone, but if I did,
How
I
many do
don't
you
know
have
if
right
I
now?
would. How many? I have 9.
No. I mean, how many were you running in your list?
Oh, 3. The max.
I think 2 is good. I think 2 is a solid number because you can put them on.
Well,
flanks and
then
do
it
stuff.
comes down to, do I want flesh mowers or do I want shooties? And they're both good.
That's true.
And they're both good, and they both serve different purposes. Because
Yeah.
like the shooty one can threaten tanks. I mean, I'm gonna have wound on 5s, but still, like, it's still pretty threatening to tanks.
Yeah.
Especially with lethal hits.
So that's kind of what you're thinking for your list then.
Yeah, that's
I-
essentially what I'm playing with right now.
I'm not gonna lie, Dameki, I don't want to play that.
And
That sounds gnarly.
also, I'm looking at Hell Brutes. I have 6 Hell Brutes, 3 for my CSM army and 3 for my Death Guard.
Mhm.
So I'm looking at possibility of Hell Brutes as like a stand-in until I can get some War Dogs.
Dude,
Sweet.
sick.
Yeah.
Wait, you
And-
Garrett?
What's up? Yeah, go.
Oh, I was just gonna tell them the tech about the Hellbrute. So the Hellbrute,
Well, yeah, you shoot
or-
it. Whenever you shoot, gets contagions, basically.
yeah, exactly.
Which will then drop a save or whatever you want to do it to
Which
it.
is gnarly, yeah.
Yeah, which is
Mhm.
disgusting. It's very mean.
I am super scared for tomorrow, I'm not gonna lie. It's gonna be fun, dude. I'm super excited to play. I hope I'm able to take what I learned and
apply it.
apply it, and I think that it's going to be a very interesting game. So my list changes. I kind of have a temp one. There's 2 things I'm on the edge about. So I'm dropping my Redemptors for a Land Raider, and currently my list right now is kind of generally the same characters: 20-man, 2 jump packs, a Gladiator Lancer, an Infiltrator, Land Raider, 2 Sword Brethren, and a Scout Squad.
Alright.
So that's what I'm looking at right now. I need to do testing, essentially, my mic, because I don't know if I need to run 2 Lancers or 1 Lancer, if 1 Lancer is enough. So the problem with going 2 Lancers is they're super cheap, so it doesn't really matter. It's just like I have to kind of lose a scoring thing, and having good scoring units won me games because I lost my heading force, but I was able to score. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. It's super funny, Dameki, because you ever listen to like the top players and they were like, "Oh yeah, we took these lists and we kept playing them," and then me and Dameki were like, "We kind of just made our list last night.
Here's
Like,
a
let's
guess."
go over it.
Like my
Let's have
list
fun."
has been in my phone for like a month, and then like I was just like, when it was time for lists to be due, I was just like looking at my phone. I was like, this one will work. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, mine
There you
was
go.
like, I like Sword Brother. I'm gonna take more. Sounds fun.
Questions real quick.
Yep.
Now that we popped up. Ragnier, I don't know how to say it. What do you all think about using the Vanguard attachment for 10 Terminators and 2 attached characters for forward deploy? I was thinking of adding Lysander for -1 to wound and a Terminator Ancient.
Lysander is what
So I think there's already an issue with that one. Because the Vanguard detachment is the Raven Guard one.
yeah.
And there is I believe it is either a enhancement. Yeah, it's an enhancement that gives the entire unit infiltrate. So you can infiltrate. I have the Waha PD open.
Oh, okay. I have the Codex.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Lysander is like the main character, right?
Lysander's Imperial Fists.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Vanguard Spearhead is Raven Guard.
Does he have deep strike so you can just or infiltrate?
No, the idea. So I think the problem with that is that if you take Lysander, No, you actually can. Oh crap! You're right. They don't restrict it to forcing you into any kind of specific thing.
No, so you take a like he's like a chapter
Yeah.
master, right? So you can take a
Uh.
lieutenant and throw that on it, and then you have a fast
So
like
so Darnith license. So he's doing a Terminator one. So it's an enhancement you give to a Terminator Ancient, which
yes.
allows you to infiltrate 10 Terminators up the board with the Ancient. Lysander gives the unit Lich Guard. Plus above strength is -1 to wound.
I thought they already no. Don't they already have that?
Terminators?
Or
No.
I think some Terminators do, don't they?
No.
Or am I crazy?
Not regular. Maybe like Dark Angels. I don't know.
Maybe
I
that's
would
what
have
I'm
to look
thinking
it
of.
up.
Yeah.
But yeah, Darnith Lysander would give them -1 to the wound roll at strength equal or higher to the Terminators you are currently infiltrating into the center of the board, which is kind of hilarious and not terrible because Vanguard attachment also gives you stealth and cover outside of 12, and also increases their OC. And it has like the if you get hurt, better hitting kind of thing.
Yeah, the models. Yeah.
That would be
It's-
that'd be pretty
It
hilarious.
sounds like how much is that? That's probably like 600 points, right?
It's not cheap. Lysander's 100. Terminator Ancient is Ancient Terminator armor is 75.
Yo. Here's the fat play. You want to know? So they have a strat. So when you get charged, you can move back 9. Take a Land Raider, move it up behind a wall, and then whenever they get charged, you can fall back into the Land Raider and then come back out and charge them.
That's pretty hilarious. 10 models is 370, so that would make it about like 550.
Yeah. And then you take like
It's a lot of points.
I think that's like a list you take with like a whole bunch of like jump packs, and then you like set that somewhere, and that's just a stat check no one could really do. And then you just take a bunch of firepower behind it, and then it's just like, cool.
It's kind of funny though. I kind of like
I think
the,
it's
I like the
I
idea.
think there's yeah, dude. I think there's a lot of room with that. I think you should definitely try it out.
Well,
As
it
soon
also
as you
it
said
also,
I like the idea, my mind just went to Ahsoka.
Oh,
I don't know that
I
stuff.
like the idea.
There is, I will say though, there is a 1 CP strat for Vanguard called Strike from the Shadows. If you make a ranged attack that's over 12 inches, it can improve the ballistic and AP by 1.
yeah. So
which is
you
not
give
bad.
us firepower. Yeah, and they have like a -1 to hit too, like a thing outside of 12.
Yeah, so their natural ability is cover and -1 to hit outside 12. It's very good.
It's just like a non-shifting unit.
And then you have -1 to wound with Lysander in there. That is pretty disgusting. The issue is that you lose most of that if someone charges you, and also you have no dev wound or mortal wound defense.
I wonder if you throw that on instead of a regular Terminator, you throw it on assault Terminators for the +1 wound with the melee kind of force with like lightning claws. Well, you could do lightning claws, or you could do like just the thunder hammers. So they're your 4 wounds. You have all that. You're sitting in the center. Your main problem is somebody like Sword Brethren charging into you with like all the buffs. And if you still have like a fighting power back against that, I think it's pretty good.
Can you run Dark Angels as Marines still?
Yeah, you can run Dark
Yeah.
Angels as that thing.
As any of the Marine factions?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
you should be able to. Like that's GW's thing now. You're
Yeah.
no longer just because you
That's-
painted them as
lo-
Dark Angels.
Well, because
you-
they're different codex. That's why I'm a little bit
Yeah.
unsure.
So that
Well,
the-
I mean, like the Unix specific ones, you have to run as I think as Dark Angels. Like if
No.
you want to run, no,
nope.
you sure?
That's the whole talking point behind that Vanguard thing is because you take the Terminators from Dark Angels, and you do it
Mm.
because you could do it with Sword Brethren, you can do it with anything. It's just Space Marine. That's why a lot of people are like, "Well, it's not fair because other codex have more models," and so
Well, I think if you want to take the Lion, you still have to. That would be considered souping.
I was about to say, well, the thing I'm thinking of is that someone in chat made a great point. They were like, "Yo, just take just take Belial and the Deathwing Strike Master, slap that enhancement on instead, and then beat the shit out of someone." Anyway, it's an idea. Real quick, Thigh Mouse, thanks for the Prime sub. Appreciate it very, very
Oh,
much.
yeah, dude.
And also, Jay Sable gave a $5 super chat and said, "Thanks for getting me into the hobby. I'm lucky enough to have a Warhammer shop 5 minutes away with just the best community to be a part of." That is
Hell
very good
yeah.
to hear.
That's my favorite part about this whole thing is just the community. Everybody's just super awesome.
Questions. Other questions here. We got what about no 2 blight spawn in a rhino with the 722 flamers. We talked about that already. Let's see here.
I mean, that's what I was doing with mine.
Right.
The 5 blight spawn and the malignant playcaster because it's firing deck too.
Let's see. Oh, I want to answer this one about the Stormlord thing.
Okay.
The Stormlord theory craft. So I had this idea for a list, right? It's really dumb, but it might work out, especially now that you mentioned that engine's here. So Astra Militarum has a Baneblade variant called the Stormlord. The Stormlord is 4 las cannons, 4 twin heavy bolters, 2 heavy stubbers, and the Vulcan Mega Bolter, which is 20 shots.
Vulcan Mega Bolter, sorry.
It's great. It's 20 shots at 612 with sustained hits 1. Pretty good. The thing though is that this has firing deck 24, which is just fucking hilarious to me. So you can fire 24 guy. It has a capacity of 40 infantry, 40, and you can fire 24 shots out of it. So I was like, okay, this is 460 points. We get an engine seer for 45, so we were 505 because the engine seer gives this thing 4-up invul. It's T12, no, sorry, T13. 2-up save, 24 wounds, and it has smoke if you want to smoke it.
Ooh, let's go.
What you do is you run Leontis and you give it, because Leontis can order anything, you give it take aim. So now everything hits on 3s instead of 4s. But because you're giving take aim to the unit, all of your firing deck also hits at +1 too. So what I want to do is I want to take 3 squads of Kasserkin and attach a Primaris Psyker to all 3. The reason for this is that Caster can hit on 3s, so because of this, they're not hitting on 2s, but particularly Casterkin have a sniper rifle that is strength 4, AP 2, 3 damage flat. So you get 3 of those sniper rifle shots coming out of here at hitting on 2s. But the reason for this really is the Primaris Psyker. The Primaris Psyker has the souped up Psychic Maelstrom, which is D6 plus 3 shots, Strength 6, AP 2, 2 damage with blast and dev wounds. But it hits on 3s, so now it's hitting on 2s because of take aim, and I'm putting 3 of them in there. So it's 3d6 plus 9
that
shots.
That sounds gnarly. I dig it.
Hitting on 2s at 622 with dev wounds and blast.
Dude, I just can't wait for three brains to explode. I can't wait to see that. That's my favorite part.
That's great. If you roll hazardous fails, it just does 3 mortals to the Stormlord. But then not only that, you also have the 3 sniper rifles, and then when that's done, you still have 18 hot shot lasgun shots, which are at 311. Or the plasma guns they can also take for, hitting on 2s because you're taking aim. And then if that wasn't enough, the Kasserkin have a special rule that can allow them to have an additional... you said they rule that even if they're off the table, you can do command phase stuff with them?
So there's specific writing in your thing. Like there's a Votan guy and Grimaldus can do it. So you might want to double check it.
Okay.
But there is stuff that you could do.
So
outside.
Basically, the Kasserkin have this ability where in your command phase, you can select one order to affect them in addition to their other orders. So the idea, so I don't know, maybe not.
I think you need to look at order itself and see what that word says and where they say to do it. I think that's where your answer will be.
Sure, it just says you can select one order to affect this unit. So I don't know.
Then yeah, I can't see why it doesn't say anything that has to be on the field.
But specifically, they have a thing called a Meltamine, which is at the start of any phase, select one enemy unit within 3 inches of the bearer, roll a 2-up. It does D3 mortals. But if it's a vehicle, it does 2d3 mortals. So you take the Stormlord with 3 squads of Casterkim, you party bust it up. if they can get this ability, they get move, which is an extra 3-inch move. So then they get out of the transports, move not so 3 inches, move 9, and then like they just you can imagine 3 of them just standing next to an enemy like Redemptor and being like, oh sick, like 6d3 mortal wounds. Because you have to get them out because you can't use the special gear when they're inside, obviously. So you'd have to get out to do it. But it's just kind of hilarious to me.
That's gnarly.
So yeah, so that's like my idea. It's insane. It's I think 1,000 points in one model, basically.
It's worth it though.
It's so funny to me. And then but then you also have like I think it's like actually 900. So you have 1,100 points of whatever the fuck in your guard. Well, you have to take Leontis and his squad, so there's also that. But
yeah,
it's literally just roll it up and be like pointed at something, or at pointed at everything.
That's
Yo,
what she said.
Ooh, I actually have a question for you guys.
Hold on.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. No,
Are you
I'm
sure?
gonna answer this guy's question.
Yeah, do
because
that
he
first,
asked
do that
about
first.
DA. So Advocate, I saw it earlier. Just haven't had a chance to get around to it. You want to know or how we would build a DA army using their detachment rule, which is if they fail, instead of going to OC0, they go to OC1, just Terminators. Just a shit ton of Terminators. Terminator spam is always good, especially with Thunderhammers and Storm Shields. I mean, like the DA lists that were at the Cali Cup had just the one giant brick of Terminators with Thunderhammers and Storm Shields, Apothecary, Ancient,
There's like 3 executioners, weren't they?
yeah, like well, no, that's Brad's list. Brad's list had you're talking about the repulsor executioners. Yeah.
Because he
It
got
did
number
have
2,
those.
yeah.
Yeah. Brad was running like Centurions and
Yeah, he had a
something
weird
else.
list. I was like, I dig it though.
Devastator Squad. Yeah, because I was like, is that Devastator Squad? Like I'm like watching from the Shoutcast booth. I was like, what? So
Speaking of
with the
cast booth.
I was on the Shoutcast booth on the last day helping Kenny and them. So yeah, I mean you can't go wrong with the Terminator bricks. And the Dark Shroud is actually really good at protecting stuff still because it gives it stealth. I think that's about it. Raven Wing, I'm waiting to see what happens with Raven Wing once the codex drops. So yeah, you can't go wrong with the Terminators. I honestly God, if you've wanted to run Redemptor or Repulsor Executioners, now's the time. Do it. Do it. I think I have like 2 in a box that I'm like itching to put together.
Ooh,
because they're fun. I mean, like vehicles are fun. This is the
I love
this is
my
the fun part
executioner.
of the edition right now. Like it was just like ninth. Ninth started off with like big monsters, big vehicles, and then as the game transitioned, it turned into just footmen. So like right now is the time to use your vehicles and your big monsters, while you can before points start increasing.
Okay, so I
Garrett had something.
Oh yeah, Garrett, you first. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
Is yours quick?
Yeah, it's quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
You could put Ogren in these things, and
God, dude,
they count as three models each, but you can put 12 of them in there because that gives you 36, and it's firing, and it's a capacity of 40. But they have basically a heavy bolter, 3 shots at 512, but it's rapid fire 3. So if you're within 9 inches, it's 6 shots a guy. So if you have 6 guys, it's 36 shots.
Oh, you take 6 guys
times 2. So it's 72 shots at 512 hitting on 3s because you take aim.
Bro, that's
in the Stormlords.
That's like a 10-man squad of like your little like Terminators from Votan shooting at 20 block, dude. That's how big it is.
That's so funny.
That's awesome.
I love it. All right, anyway, go do your thing.
So I have a question for you guys. Do you guys have a model that you saw the rules for, or you saw and were like, I want to start an army for that?
Angron.
Angron?
Actually, it was Karn, actually.
Karn? Okay. Yeah. Dameki, do you have one?
Dude, I always go on rule of cool, so most of the time, like it will be like I see a model like Morty.
Mhm.
Morty 9th edition was like I want to build a list around Mortarian. This edition, Lionel Johnson and Farsight.
Dude.
Fair. All right.
So
All right. Well, all right. What do you want to
I
start?
okay. So my buddy Kevin, I almost instantly when I read the rules for this guy, I almost instantly started a Blood Angels army because as a melee fan, I was like, holy fuck, this is cool as shit, and I want to do it. The fucking Sanguinor.
Yeah, the Sanguinor. I was like, it's
so
gonna be the Sanguinor.
cool.
It's ridiculous.
It's a cool model, but the freaking rule of like, all right, you get charged, and he's here now,
Yep.
and he's like, oh, dude, 8 attacks on 2, 6 strength 6, -3, 2 damage with dev wounds. Oh my god, I was like, I would kill for that thing is so cool.
So Dameki, once per battle at the end of your opponent's charge phase, if this model is in reserves, you can select one enemy unit that made a charge and set it up within engagement range of that enemy unit.
It's
8 attacks at 632, like he said. You forgot the most important part.
dev wounds.
No.
Oh, the battle shock one?
No.
Does it have fight first?
Yes.
Oh yeah, fight
Oh.
first. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
that's
got
very
And then he has
first.
fight first.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, I charge you with anything, and he's in reserves, and you're like, the Savior Angel comes in and beats the shit out of you. It's
Bro, okay, so
awesome.
I tell you what though, I will stay it right here. If Sanguinary Guard got a like a new model, I will definitely very heavily consider starting Blood Angels.
Oh yeah.
If they got like a Dante-esque like upgrade, I would 100% be probably picking some.
I mean, I'm sure they will eventually. I don't know if it's gonna be.
Speaking,
intense.
guys, of an army, Wog anyone?
Dude, I was
Oh,
I had to determine if I was gonna start orcs or world leaders, and I went world leaders.
I went
still-
orcs, yeah.
You know how much nids I'm sitting on?
Dude, same.
And you, yeah. Like my idea is to get the nids built, painted, and then try to entice Matt to come back for a game. That's my
Ooh.
intent. My intent is
That's
to
fair.
try to entice Matt to come back and play a game of 10th. If he says no, I'm just going to capture this man and make him play a game anyways.
I picture
I'm
you
going
running
to
out with
saw
like
him.
a lasso,
going
like,
to-
come on, man.
I'm going to go capture Matt and saw him. Like I'm going to like just like duct tape him to like one of those dollies and just like put him up to the table and then just give him enough movement to where he can just take the dice and like drop them like this. So like I'll be like, all right, here's your attacks.
Threes. All right. I think we can round this one out. For all of our wonderful viewers, thank you so much for watching this little recap. Thank you so much, both of you on YouTube and Twitch, for joining on all the good stuff. We appreciate both of your support a ton. If you like it, you may continue to. We'll probably upload this as its own standalone video later on. But you can continue to support us on either platform. Genuinely, it's up to you. Your choice is yours. Whether it is joining via memberships, subscriptions on Twitch, or super chats and donations, we appreciate them all. They go towards the office and making sure it's all up. You guys will probably see a battle report tomorrow. The two of these gentlemen will be playing their lists that they talked about today. Any changes?
No, we're playing strictly the same list.
Hell yeah.
As much as
And
I
am
make
very
changes,
terrified.
I was like, I will just leave it as is.
Hell
'cause
yeah.
I'm sure people want to see Morty.
So the two of them will be playing a battle report, and yeah, check them out. And
Also, too, we'll be at the Mali Invitation
In a
coming
week.
up next
Oh,
weekend. So if you're there,
Yes.
come say hi, dude. We'd love to meet you.
So that probably means no battle report next weekend.
we should be good. We still need to get out the Garrett versus Atesh one, and then two of you
we'll
and then-
have the videos.
and then
Yeah,
after
we'll
that
have
we'll
that.
have another tournament recap.
And
so all
maybe
should
we
be
might
good.
do another night of this. Who knows?
Oh, definitely.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
I love
And
hanging
then-
out and doing this.
Yeah, this is good.
Y'all see that? That's also I'll be streaming every once in a while on the Dice Check account. So that's the paint dust behind me. That's
Hell
in
yeah.
complete disarray.
So, by the way, we're shooting for 10 to 11 ish tomorrow.
Pacific time.
Yeah, Pacific time is when we're shooting to play.
Hell
So we hope we have you guys there. We're gonna
Dice
be
down. Dick down.
crazy.
Hell yeah.
Dude, Dameki's gonna wear a tracksuit.
Of
Hell
course.
yes.
I bought two. So apparently
Okay, yeah,
that's
yeah.
what I'm going to be known for as from now on. I'm sorry. I know we were like wrapping up the video.
Sorry,
but I wore tracksuits all weekend, and I just bought two more. So I'm bringing the most Eastern Bloc European out of all of them, which is the black with the white stripe Adidas tracksuit.
Hell yeah.
So that's what you'll see me in tomorrow. I'll
Good.
even wear a chain and a bracelet.
Ooh.
Ooh,
fancy.
dude, can you get one of
Yeah.
those like hats, like the fuzzy hats too?
The babushka?
No, oh, you mean
Oh, the
a
Ushanka.
Ushanka?
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
talking about the Ushanka.
No,
I
no,
don't have a Ushanka.
not that the one that's like the kind of top hat, but it's all fuzzy.
Yeah, Ushanka.
Yes.
okay.
Babushka is the
Yeah.
one I was wrong about. That's the other one.
Yeah.
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 All right. Goodbye,
Suck a
everybody.
block.
Thanks for
Oh,
watching.
yeah.
Freaking Tarkov players.